The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barber's Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice Trey, go for Trey, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on display, haters old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack just like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice Trey, go for Trey, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on display, haters old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. It's your host, Scott. Of course, you know to follow me on all social media platforms at Barber Chair Scott. You can follow Barber's Chair at Barber's Chair Co. on all social media platforms. You can follow our partners, HB Media at HB Media TV on Twitter and at HB Media on Instagram. And also follow our new show page on Instagram. That is at INGHY Show on Instagram, man. And of course, get in tune with our Patreon, patreon.com/Barber's Chat Network, man. If you go here, we have 3 different tiers available. Let's put it up. Dante, pull it up. You know what I'm saying? Nigga back. Forgot already. We know it's all good. Anyway, patreon.com/Barber's Chat Network.
You definitely do the graphics, nigga.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Nikhil be doing all of it, but that's beside the point. Patreon.com/Barber's Chat Network. We got 3 different tiers, 4 different tiers that you can subscribe to. But if you subscribe to the $10 holla, you get 25% off on your first order at the Barber's Chat Network store. That is bcnetshop.com. We got some new joints on there dropping next Friday. We got a new shirt dropping, so pay attention to all that, man. We've got a packed show for you all today. Sorry for the late delay. We had some audio issues. And I see in the chat it says I'm choppy. Am I choppy right now, or am I good? Okay, I'm gonna guess I am, man.
You was
a little bit choppy.
you was a little choppy.
Okay, well, we might still have fucking problems. So I don't know. We're gonna figure this shit out. I'm gonna let Bang host it. I gotta figure this audio thing out. Bang, go ahead, do your thing.
I just had some issues myself, so send it over to Dante. I don't know what the hell.
Damn. You know what? It's Friday. And he's muted. Pay the
First
fine.
day back, just
All
throw me
3
in
of
the
you.
fire. This
Pay
is
the fine.
crazy. This is
Pay
crazy.
the
You know, we're gonna open it all up. We all gonna host it right now. Courtney, how you doing? What's going on?
Courtney is fantastic. Courtney is thriving. Do I have any?
Am I good?
Am I good?
Am I good?
No, we
Am
all
I
good?
good?
Right
That's good. Yeah, you're good, baby.
All right, cool. Bet. I mean, I've been here long enough, so I mean, look, I ain't gonna hold you, JR banging this thing, hosting while Scott takes care of what he got to take care of. Dante is back from unlimited PTO. How you doing?
Crazy.
I'm solid, bro. Like, I just wanted to let the people know. I understand you have not seen me on the show in a couple of weeks, But we really been working. We doing some good shit for the network. We got a lot of good stuff we cooking up for the brand. So when you don't see me on the show, I'm still in constant communication with Scott and the rest of the crew. I allow y'all to fry me. I get it, but let's just be clear.
But you look well rested. Let me just say this. You look very well rested.
But before you get going, let's be clear. I am very much the Woody Page of this shit. Ain't nobody did more episodes besides me. So let's be clear. But no, man, it's good to be back. We got a great show for everybody today.
All right, man. And Courtney, you can follow her at 1-800-CALL-A-BRO. Well, how you doing?
I'm just doing fantastic. It's Friday. I'm ready to go outside. Don't let this beanie fool you. The hair is laid. The edges are laid under here. It's like 80 degrees outside, partly cloudy. I'm ready to be in the streets with a glass of Savi B, but I'm excited to talk about little football with you guys before then.
Hey, Courtney, real quick, since it's not on the rundown and we, waiting on Scott, let the people know about what's going down there in Dallas with the Stars.
Hey, listen, I'm just, I don't want to say too much for obvious reasons, but just don't be shocked if your girl has a beautiful piece of hardware by the end of this summer, okay? And I'm not talking about an engagement ring because who needs one of those?
All right, can y'all hear me? Are we good to go?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, man. Fuck up.
Because if the shit don't work, I'm doing the sound off. So just letting you know.
All right, cool. I just don't want to wear these. I ain't fucking. Never mind. Anyway, we here. I'm not gonna hold you. We got the whole cast here. You can follow. I already did all the shit. Anyway, y'all niggas know. Y'all watch the show every week. Y'all know who we are. You might not know this dude in the corner right here, Dante, who decided to show up.
Yeah, someone in the chat said, "Who's the new guy?"
Who's the new guy? Dante Leonard as well, so they're calling you Kawhi. So anyway, what I was saying before my Bluetooth headphones went out, we had an audio thing because my studio headphones, decided to break. How they broke, I don't know. It was on my desk. I put my hoodie on and it just dented that joint. So I had to, for some reason, my MacBook wasn't reading the AirPods I had. They wasn't reading the Skull Candy. No, I put the Skull Candy on y'all so y'all can hear me, which I knew was gonna happen because that always happens when I wear Skull Candy headphones. So now I got these crappy CVS headphones on. But whatever, the show must go on. Yeah, man, Dante, how's it feel to be back? Anything you wanna say since you in the time that you've been back?
Oh no, you actually missed my whole little spiel. But I said, it's good to be back. We've been doing a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and we're gonna have a strong 2025 for the fans, man. We've been growing this thing, and especially, it is because of you all. But we're gonna show our appreciation this year. So just look out for everything we got coming.
All right, cool. You said I'm choppy still.
Just a little bit. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure we have a well-produced quality show for the people that are listening. And I know how much.
So my audio is my audio is choppy.
Yeah. It's almost like a bit of like that underwater kind of sound, like a little garbled, and then it's also a little choppy.
Like right now, I sound choppy.
There was a chop in there.
All right, man. Y'all, this is pissing me off.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying
no, you good. Y'all go to the first topic. I gotta figure this out. Hold on. Y'all go.
All right, bang, let's get it.
All right, man. So look, we're gonna do the sound off together, but I want to be able to throw it out to whatever you want to sound off about. So Dante, since you're back and everything, and we miss hearing you, what would you like to sound off about today?
My sound off is something, a team that I swore off, lied about swearing off because I never really left. The Chicago White Sox. Hey, listen, Jerry Reinsdorf, I know you don't care what we think, but it is really time, brother. You have somebody right next to you who is ready to hand you billions of dollars to take over this franchise. Let that man do it. Let him do it. It is time. We have suffered long enough. You got 6 rings on the West Side. You got lucky in 2005. We know you're a baseball guy, but owners around the league don't like you. You don't want to spend money. You see what it takes to upkeep a team these days. And we have a man whose house that he just built is worth more than every contract we've given out in franchise history. And that house just happens to be right in Chicago. So go ahead and let Justin take over that team, and give us what we deserve, bro. A competent owner that wants to spend money and believes in, feeding his fan base. If you look at what they did down in Phoenix, him and his brother, they're the team that canceled their TV contract and gave out antennas to the fans and said you can watch the games for free. Like, that's the type of things that they do, and that's what we need. So that's my sound off. It's like, man, as these rumblings keep happening, let's get this ball rolling and just give them the team and get out the way, bro.
All right, Courtney, what you got?
I guess sound off. I didn't really have anything on my heart until Dante started talking about billionaires. And I guess now my sound off is about
you
good?
Keep talking.
All right, my check 1 2 1 2. I don't know why the hell we talking White Sox baseball. That is not on the rundown.
We're pivoting. Right now.
That's why
We're having a sound off moment, Scott. Somebody had to.
Yeah, I don't see sound off on the rundown. This is.
But we feel it. We call filling time, fam. It's called filling time while you get back.
And y'all want to fill time with a team that lost 180 games?
I didn't choose it. It chose Dante. But Courtney, what was you saying to finish off?
Yeah, what I was saying was I'm tired of billionaires just not spending fucking money if you own a team, just trying to tread water. I don't know if you saw Justin Turner's recent remarks about Seattle Mariners ownership and how it's just such a shame. And also just in relation to that, pardon me, George Kirby just got pulled with shoulder inflammation. So that rotation's cooked. The Mariners are cooked. Billionaires, just eat the rich. Eat the rich.
Well, mine coincides with one of the topics up on there. So Scott, you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready when y'all talk about niggas who win games. But anyway, yeah. So wanted to talk about I was gonna talk about Paradise on here, but some people haven't seen the finale. I won't say who.
I got a job. I'm sorry.
What the like? For my job, I literally stare at 50 tiny little monitors and a big monitor and another screen. When I be getting home after staring at this shit for 12 hours, I just don't be wanting to look at another screen. That's all. So, but then you can't use the excuse. You just don't want to watch it. You got the time. You just don't want to use it to watch the show.
No.
I've had a job before too, and I still watch my shows.
I'm so sorry, Scott, that I'm not up to date on Paradise. My bad.
Hey, I wanted to have a nice conversation about this, but we can't. That leads me to my first point.
What about you want to spoil it for the viewers? What about people that
then that goes to my next point. I do not care about spoilers. This is why. If a spoilers to me are only if a movie is out, right? If a movie is out, then I think the general agreement is you wait till Monday. With a TV show, if it's available to everybody to get for your TV, why should I care about somebody's schedule? And that's not y'all my people. But I'm just saying on Twitter, people got mad that I was tweeting through Daredevil. Nigga, mute. Do what you gotta do. Log off till you see it. When the Paradise finale came out, it actually came out the night before. I didn't get a chance to see it the night before. So what did I do? I stayed my ass off Twitter until I got time to watch it. So that's why I never agree with the spoiler thing. Just because y'all didn't see it. I'm doing it because I'm Courtney is my people, Dante my people. So I'm not me and Bane not gonna talk about it. But in general, okay, all right. So really, Courtney's the only one who hasn't watched it.
Don't do this to me right now.
Courtney's the only one who watched
right now. I have been nothing but good for y'all.
Courtney has held it down in Dante's absence. She's even been doing local hour. And she's putting in work.
I didn't
now you're taking the song. Now you're taking the song.
I didn't do my music today. That's how out of soul. This is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't care about spoilers either. In fact, I am so terrible when it comes to shows. I will go and look up like sites that might talk about the show while I'm watching the show. Like I saw a couple of
care about it for me. I just don't care about anybody else.
No, I don't care about it for me either. Like I would go to a website and be like, "Oh, this what the fuck this is about." All right, cool. Like I couldn't care less.
I I'm real hit or miss with spoilers because it depends. Like if it's a show I actually care about, or it's a show that has a lot of twists and turns, don't ruin it for me. But if it's some shit that 9 times out of 10 I was gonna figure it out in the first 15 minutes of me watching this shit anyway,
Right.
just tell me, bro. I'm still gonna watch it because I'm interested in it. But like
Well,
when it
somebody
shows
spoiled
like
for me.
Paradise, you niggas did a great job because I didn't know they were in a cave at all. I had no clue what was
Oh,
gonna
wow.
happen until that man started running down the block. So shout out to y'all, bro.
Well, you must have been listening to Summer Sessions. I don't think we talked about it on here, did we? I think we was talking
Nah.
about it on Summer Sessions. Yeah.
No,
I
we
think
didn't say shit at all, really.
Yeah, we didn't say nothing about it on here.
I'm saying in general, like between
You just said general.
shows and the group chat, like niggas did not spoil it.
Oh.
Like, I was legit shocked when I saw what was going on.
I respect Courtney's time, even though she was like, well, I'm not gonna say what you said in the chat. Never mind. Move along. Moving right along. I was gonna say something. Anyway, good save. Let's talk about the most pressing thing on the internet right now, and that's the altercation last night between Mr. LeBron Raymond James and Stephen A. Smith that happened in the Lakers game. We'll actually talk about the actual game in hour 2. A lot of thoughts about that because my confidence in the Lakers is actually growing pretty high more and more. So I'm just gonna play this clip real quick. Very, very short clip of what happened last night. Then I'll give my take and I'll give my takes. This is an incredible day of fuck ups. If you listen to the audio version of this, I apologize. See what happens when I thought that video was gonna play a little better than it did. That joint played right in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Is why we need editors. This is why we need
This is why we need Nikhil. Stop going to class, Nikhil. You don't need school anyway.
That's
school.
You don't need school anyway. Yeah, I got a degree too. Let me tell you how much that helps me in the entertainment industry. It doesn't. But anyway, that's what happened last night. And there was a lot of discussion on the timeline about, how people felt about it and, was LeBron wrong? And been a lot of Stephen A. Smith hate going on, which I get it. I get it why people don't like it. This is my opinion on it, man. And then I'll go to Bang, because Bang is the only father here. I want LeBron to cut the shit, man. Like, as a father, I get it. I get you don't want people to talk about your kid. I've even had a mother told me it don't matter if you're 60, you're still my child. I get it. I understand that. But your child is a professional basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Your child is going through everything that comes through being a basketball player. You're the one who tweeted this last year that you think is funny because Bronny's better than half of the dudes in the league right now. Let's be real. The only reason he's on the NBA roster right now is because he has your name. And not that I don't think that he can't be something someday. Maybe he can. I just think it was a big leap from a guy from obviously he only played 4 games at USC because he had a heart issue. And we're glad he bounced back from that and everything. That nobody wants any harm done to this young man. Or I don't think anybody's actually even wishing any bad on a 21-year-old kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't ask to be, put in this situation. But at the same time, I don't feel like this thing where LeBron is just looking at this, don't talk about my kid. If you've been talking about Bronny for almost a year now, I think that he was looking at this as an opportunity to just give a reason to be yelling at Stephen A. Smith. And I think also LeBron does things where people act like, it's like when somebody hits you upside the head and you hit him back. And he's like, what you do that for? LeBron does a lot of that. And I'm just honestly tired of the whole situation. I'm tired of talking about all of this. And people say, the thing that must be the most is, oh, he was the 55th pick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just something that's supposed to take him away from any type of criticism, which is crazy to me. And let's be real. The only reason that's because the Lakers wanted to make LeBron happy, which you're supposed to do for your franchise player. And I saw somebody else say, oh, well, look, he was going to get drafted anyway. Yeah, because LeBron said that whatever team my son is on is going to be the team that I'm on. There's no coincidence that he didn't sign an extension until that was getting ready to happen. That was the only reason. I think that maybe if everything goes well, he can be a very decent role player in the NBA? Maybe. I don't know. G League is tough as well. And I think the plan that they're using for him right now is actually good. But the way the season started with the theatrics and the Griffey's son and everything like that was crazy to me. And it comes part of the game. Just look at Shedeur Sanders. We'll be talking about Shedeur later on in the show as well. He's getting a lot of crap right now. And you'll see Dion out here trying to fight niggas. So it's the issue I have. And Shedeur's actually good at his crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shedeur is probably going to go lower because of his bravado or who his father is more than his actual talent on the field. And that's the issue I see. And so I said, well, they weren't questioning his father. And I went back and watched that clip from last month. Make sure I wasn't, not last month, January. Make sure I wasn't tripping. He said, as a father, I want you to cut out all this stuff that's been going on. I don't think he was questioning his fatherhood or you're a bad father because of all this. It's just people don't like Stephen A. Smith. And also, I'm mad at Stephen A. I'm mad at Stephen A. Smith on the way he went on First Take today and pretty much was copy please. If you're going to go out there and you're going to say stuff like that, stand on your own. Stand on what you had to say. And he did nothing like that. He went out there in that pink suit. It was something, that was a father who was talking to me. I understand and I didn't mean to do this. Ooh. And honestly, if I was Bronny, my last point is if I was Bronny, I wouldn't want my daddy to be out and fight my battles, dog. This is the NBA. This is what grown. You don't think they're gonna be using this as trash talking when these games and things like that with the G League or whatever? It's just an overall embarrassing thing for all parties put together. But let's just stop acting like this is just him trying to be super dad. This is way more to this. Bang, I want to hear your opinion on this. You're the only one who got kids. What do you feel about this?
So I disagree with you on the father thing because as a father, I feel him. Like sometimes when now, mind you, it's a caveat to all of this. So as a father, I feel him because I will always defend my son no matter what it is. But as an NBA player, this whole shit. Like you can't send out tweets talking about how he better than most NBA players. He could play the point guard position right now. But then say he just a kid. Like at the end of the day, Bronny is an NBA player now. He got drafted. They signed him. He played a couple of NBA games. He's in the G League. He's back and forth. He's the NBA player. So I don't mind him defending him as a father if he feels like some stuff was said. Because we don't know if anything was said not in front of the camera. We only know what was seen in front of the camera. And from what I've seen in front of the camera, it wasn't nothing that was said out of bounds about Bronny. In fact, Stephen A. has consistently said that he hopes he does well. He just feels like his father is putting him in the wrong position. So two things could be right. But my thing, and I don't believe that Stephen A. was copping pleas because at the end of the day, if you're a father, you will understand from a father perspective of what is going on here. But Stephen A. Smith ain't treat Bronny like he did Kwame Brown. He did not give Kwame Brown that treatment. All he did was say his daddy is putting him in the wrong position. And what LeBron James did when talking to Stephen A. Smith in that manner, and you being able to read his lips, he's continually putting his son in the wrong situation. Dad, you ain't got to fight my battle, fam. I'm in the NBA. I'm going to be all right. If anything, look, it'll be better for LeBron to teach his son how to go through these situations. But I think what LeBron James did was bigger than his son in the first place. He got an issue with Stephen A. Smith. And instead of dealing with that when it comes to Stephen A. Smith, he used his son. Because if you look, unless somebody says that LeBron James, Maverick Paul, Rich Paul, and Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, and Stephen A. Smith had a conversation off camera and his son was brought up, that's one thing. If it was a situation like how Stephen A. Smith and Kyrie Irving's father had their own issues and the homies had to bring them together and work it out, then that's one thing. But if it's the clip that you saw from the Stephen A. Smith show and what he talked about on First Take, then LeBron James was not only out of bounds, he used his son to go ahead and try to do something that he probably should have been done. Because the only other thing that was talked about when it comes to LeBron, about LeBron James, is Stephen A. Smith disagreeing with him about the whole face of the league situation. And even that wasn't out of bounds. LeBron James needs to teach his son how to deal with situations, how you work these situations out, and not use it for what he did. As a father, I have no problem with what he did. But as an NBA player and as a spokesperson for the NBA, if those videos are what is the reason that took place, then LeBron James is out of bounds, and he used his son, in this case, for clout.
I think that's I think that's a good way you put it, with, because that was my point too. That's why I don't think it has nothing to do with his son. I think it has all to do with his whatever relationship with Stephen A. Smith. Because I even seen, I think it was like a national game they had since he said in the comments about Bronny, where it was him, Kendrick Perkins, Malika Andrews, and I think Michael Wilbon, and he came up there and gave Stephen A. hug. So that's why I don't think it got nothing to do about Bronny. And like you said, maybe it was something that was said off camera. I'm just going off.
I know what game you're talking about. It was last year, and it wasn't necessarily a hug. You could tell them niggas don't fuck with each other. You could tell it was just like save face, hi, whatever. But my thing is look, being real. If it's that shit, and now I know I don't fuck with you, I ain't even doing that. I'm not shaking your hand. I'm not giving you that. Exactly. I'm not doing none of that shit.
Yeah, I'd went back to the layup line. And that's why I don't think it had nothing to do with Bronny. It's all whatever his problem is with Stephen A. And like you said, maybe there was something said off camera. We can only go off what Stephen A. says on his platforms. But Dante, what's your thoughts on this?
I like that he addressed it, and I do think that it has a lot more to do with the parenting aspect than the basketball aspect, because nothing anybody said about Bronny as a basketball player has been foul or out of bounds. They said he struggled when he come up from the G League, and that's actually what's happened. But I think, and what I did was I went back and I watched the Stephen A. Smith show after that 76ers game, and he had a comment where he was like, if you see your son being exposed to things that you aren't ready for, when do you wrap your arms around him and say, all right, now is not the time? While that's not a harsh statement, I could see why somebody would take offense to that, because it's who are you to tell me what situation I'm putting my child in? And also, I thought about it in the grand scheme of things with Bronny. LeBron is a player who, as we all know, he's lived through the adversity. He's had, the unrealistic expectations. He's come through that since he was 18 years old. Bronny Jr. knows nothing but wealth for the most part. He don't remember when they were broke. So this, in my opinion, is all a part of LeBron trying to prepare him for what he's going to have to go through if he does stick and become an everyday NBA player. And so I think him going at Stephen A. was really more so pointing to the fact that, my son was the 55th pick in the draft. Y'all do not talk about 55th picks in the draft. And if this was not my son, this wouldn't be the same energy. And again, it's not about him being a player, because like the player, he as a pro, he's going to be talked about by the media. That's not what it is. It's the fact that they keep bringing the fact that he's LeBron James Jr. into it. And so, like, even I went back and I looked up every 55th pick since 2000, bro. It's 4 of them that ended up being rotation players, like Etwan Moore, Patty Mills, who got drafted in 2009, buddy Aaron Wiggins, who played for OKC now. So it's like, bro, y'all are only talking about this because it's my son. Granted, I said what I said, but you also have the power as the media to say, yeah, that's some bullshit, and ignore him. Just like whenever we talk about Bronny Jr. on this show, Pavi be like, bro, can we talk about something that actually matters? Because at the end of the day, you can do that. Like, you have that power. So I think it was strictly a parenting thing. It wasn't about basketball. I don't think it was about basketball.
Dante, you know this just as well as I do, and being in the media, that they're going to talk about him because it's going to draw in viewers.
Absolutely.
And LeBron and the thing is, and I let me just say I agree with you, but what nobody is saying, because they don't want to say it, because it is LeBron James, some of this onus is on him. The onus is on him. If one thing that I used to hate growing up is when my mother used to brag about me, especially with who she was bragging about me to, because you're making people feel a way because your son is doing X, Y, and Z. I hated that. But I ain't LeBron James and I ain't Bronny James Jr. So when I take what I see and you got LeBron James as a dad really bragging on his son, which I ain't got no problem with, you can't then try to put the genie back in the bottle because, yeah, your stands are going to ride with you. I know LeBron James stands. We all do. And they really don't care that he was the 55th pick. They really think that this dude is going to be an all-star.
Man, can I say something about the 55th thing? Go ahead, my bad.
Let me just finish this. Let me just finish it because I think it's rather important as a father and a dad.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
You think just because this dude is LeBron James Jr., this dude's going to be an all-star in year 2. So LeBron James is catering to his stands, and he know his stands is going to ride with him. But the fact of the matter is you put your son in this position. You can't put the genie back in the bottle at that point. You, at some point, got to be like, hey, man, I know you got to tell, instead of saying that to Stephen A. Smith, leave my son out of it, that's what you could have told Stephen A. You could have told Stephen A, look, he the 55th pick. He in the G League. He doing well. I put him in this position. I'm going to make sure he's straight. Just watch this. No, you legit said, leave my son out of this. You can't leave your son out of this, no matter what pick he was, because he's in the NBA. Don't nobody want to talk about the 55th pick. Don't nobody want to talk about that nigga. But the fact of the matter is, he's your son. You said what you said. You the reason why he's drafted, because he wasn't going to get drafted unless you did what he did. You made the whole pomp and circumstance thing about your son and you being the first father's son to be up in the NBA at the same time. Then you sent his ass to the G League. When he did that, had that good ass game in the G League, you said, see, look what we talked about. Boom, boom, boom. And now you've made your son the victory cigar. Your son is young black Jack Haley. Because
he the black Brian Scalabrine.
Right, because your ass got him in that position. All niggas said was, let him grow in the G League. That's it. Did he say that shit animated? Yes, but you know what it is. The reason why we talking about the 55th pick is not even just because he's your son. It's because what you're doing because he's your son. And LeBron James got to own that and not, because if you look at the video now, Stephen A. Smith was next to the Lakers bench. Mm-hmm. So all that shit about like him being scared of LeBron James, this nigga was 2 steps away the whole damn time. The whole damn time. You just was like, this motherfucker over here. You let that shit stew. Stephen A. didn't let that shit stew. And I'm not even a Stephen A. Smith fan like that. But I got more respect for Stephen A. now because I said all of that shit and I was 2 steps away from the nigga doing the whole goddamn game, rooting against him because I'm a Knicks fan.
And here's the thing, too, like that was crazy to me. Anybody who says Stephen A. is scared is a LeBron fan. Because look, first of all, Stephen A. is not a short man. Let's get this out the way.
Can I say something real quick, Scott?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not that they just LeBron fans. This is something we got to address as black men. It's too many people that think you're supposed to wild out and do ignorant shit in public spaces. Like Stephen A. is a public figure who just signed a $100 million contract.
$100 million
He was not about to slap that man. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
Just got announced that day.
Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, we courtside of the Lakers game. We not about to box in this bitch. Like, at some point, people have to realize there's certain reactions.
Hold on, Dante. Like, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Shannon Sharp. That's all I'm saying. Shannon Sharp.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
For the most part, we gotta stop doing shit like this. Like, you just can't do it, bro.
Shannon Sharp was about to take on the whole different Nuggets.
Like, he about to take the whole Grizzlies. He about to fight
the Grizzlies. It was the Grizzlies.
All because of Ja drunk ass daddy.
Right. That's my thing too. Like I said, Stephen A. I've seen personally. The day I met Stephen A. was around the time that he didn't have the most flattering conversation, not topic, but words about Russell Westbrook when Russell Westbrook was a Laker. I seen with my own eyes Stephen A. having a one-on-one with Russell Westbrook Sr. I don't know if niggas have met Russell Westbrook Sr. He looked like a retired Crip. Them niggas was having a actual conversation. So it's not like he's run away from things like this. He's had conversations with Mama Durant. He don't run from these things. I think he let LeBron have that moment. What's he gonna do? I just said, Dante, he just signed a $100 million contract. What's he gonna do? Yell back at him? Like, that's just what it is. But to go with what you're saying, man, this is the issue I have with that 55th pick thing. Yeah, we're only talking about him because he's LeBron James Jr. He's also only in the league because of LeBron James Jr. Like, there was many teams who said, oh, this might be a way to get LeBron on our team because if we draft his son. So that's what it is. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So that's the issue I have with that. Now, I said a year ago that I hope whatever team he ended up with, they have an actual plan to develop this kid. Because let's be real, Bron probably got what next year. I thought next year, but this Luka thing, he might be 2 more years. Let's say 2 years max that he's in the league. I just hope for Bronny's sake, they don't throw that kid to the curb when Bron retires. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hoping. So
what you think that's not gonna happen?
Oh, I know it's gonna happen.
I'm about to say.
I'm just saying that's part of my point of why you can't say, oh, he's a 55th pick, but then what the whole reason we talking about him even being in NBA is because his father.
But nah, this is the thing. If it clicks and it works, and it ain't gonna happen. Like he may sign somewhere else, but like if you're truly being genuine with this development plan, which is you let him play in the G, which if anybody's been paying attention, he's been getting off in the G League. But like most people who get off in the G League, when he comes to the big show, he's like a deer in headlights. That's what it's been. But if he does start to show that progress, and me personally, I think Ron might play for 3 or 4 more years, fucking around with Luka. Just the way he been playing off the ball, I really do see that.
I even seen Melo and D Wade. He ain't playing that long.
I mean, I'm saying he could. Like he probably won't, but he could. But if the development works, why would you throw him away?
Because I just don't think the kid's that good. Like that's just my point. I think the middle child is way better. Like I think Bryce has something there. It's not like so. Yes, there's. I have no problem with black nepotism. By the way, I have no problem with that. But even if Shedeur Sanders didn't have Dion, Shedor's good enough when we still be talking about him. I don't think it's just a Courtney, correct the crap. You still be talking about him. He wouldn't be a bum. Like his daddy ain't got nothing to do with his play. Like his daddy ain't got nothing to do with his play on the field. Like I know we feel about it, but if you want to say if his name wasn't something that we talking about random niggas who I never heard of, he'd still be talked about. Like I don't want to hear all that. Bronny should not be in the NBA. It's just that simple. Go ahead. Go. I'm gonna give you the mic. Go ahead. You want to go ahead? Go ahead, Courtney.
I had nothing to say during this whole thing because I'm like, NBA talk is not my bag. I don't have a stance on it either way. But I do disagree with, I'm sorry, Shedeur Sanders would not be in the situation that he's in right now if his dad weren't Deion Sanders. I'm so sorry. If his dad were fucking Colonel Sanders, it doesn't matter. I'm so sorry.
I disagree 100%. I disagree 100%.
He would not have.
His dad had something to do with his talent?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The resources that he had because of who his dad was. It comes inherently, and again, it's really hard to even imagine that scenario because, again, I'm not saying he's had everything handed to him, but with a Nepo baby comes all the access that Nepo babies have access to. People.
Now, what I'm not talking about is the access.
The best training, the best camps, the best coaches, friends with all types of NFL players. I'm just saying. It's hard to not hold it against him by any means. You don't get to choose who you come from, but you can't tell me that part of who he is and the talent that he has isn't because of who his dad is.
I'm not saying it's because of his dad, but I'm saying if you strip away, let's say they both have the same platforms, right? Let's just say Bron had the same platform with his daddy, Shedeur had the same platform with daddy. Take LeBron and Deion out of this going off their talent. Shedeur would still be talked about off his talent. And but I don't think that would be the case for Bron.
But they have, I guess.
So I'm gonna disagree with you a bit on Shedeur. The reason why I'm going to disagree with you a bit on Shador is because it's Deion Sanders. There's no way for us to say that at all because Deion Sanders is who Deion Sanders is. And
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's impossible for us to even.
It's impossible. Like for Deion Sanders, it is damn near impossible. And I'm not saying, look, even though I said on here, and a lot of people disagree with me, that I don't think that Shador is going to be a top flight NFL starter. Until I see it in the NFL, until I see it, I'm gonna, and it's not because of Deion Sanders. Let me also say that, because if y'all know me, Deion Sanders is one of my favorite athletes of all time. It is not because of that. But you can't tell me that Shador would have been allotted what he has had if it was not for his father. Could he have been still as talented? Yes. Could he have went from Jackson State to Colorado? Yes, because Cam Ward went from Incarnate Word, a school I've never heard from all
but
that.
But also think about how he might have even gotten into those situations. Dude lived in Plano, Texas.
No,
this is
one of the most what I'm saying is take Bronny and Shador. They're both privileged. Let's just say the fathers of their father. Let's just say LeBron. I'm living in a hypothetical world right now. Let's just say LeBron's retired, but LeBron still pulled the strings to get him where he's at, right? Same thing with Shador. So taking away that, if we're just going off a talent perspective, not how they got there, not how they got to these perspective situations, just off a talent basis, we would still be talking about Shador's talent. I don't think the same thing would be happening.
I get what you're saying. That's what I was saying. I don't know if we would have saw that. Because we've also never seen Shador be coached by somebody else. Like, that's what I'm saying. We've never seen Shador get coached by nobody else. He's had one coach coaching him his whole life. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the NFL, because can I get out of you what your dad did? That's what I'm saying. Have we seen that happen? Yeah. I'm just saying that for Shador, we ain't never seen that. He's had literally one coach all his life. And what happens when he does, I'm not calling him spoiled. I'm just saying what happens when things does not go the way that he wanted to go. I'm sorry. I probably rather listen to my father than listen to Brian Daboll or Kevin Stefanski, especially when he's been coaching me this whole time and he knows what makes me tick. So that's what I'm saying. Without Deion Sanders, I can't say that we would have gotten that, because Deion Sanders is not only proven that he's one of the greatest, he's one of the top 5 football players of all time. He's also proven that he could get the best out of a lot of people. Travis Hunter, his son, and a whole bunch of other people. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that with somebody else.
I don't disagree with that, and I also feel like that's part of the reason
but before you go, I just want you to know I do understand what you're saying. I'm just saying.
No, I get what you're saying too. I agree with what you're saying. I think that's part of the reason why he's falling in the draft, because they saying he's arrogant and things like that. What's going to happen because NFL's a different beast. NFL's a different beast. As somebody who covers Caleb Williams was on top of the world at USC. I give Caleb, he still did the Go Bears when they was getting their shit pushed in, but he wasn't smiling so big in October when he was smiling in July. As somebody who's seen him every day, I've had a front row seat to see Caleb. So and honestly, and Caleb might be a lot more before this, he is a lot more before. Caleb lived by himself. Like Shador lived a very sheltered life. He was on a reality TV show when he was like 10 years old. I get all of that.
I forgot about that.
I'm just saying, my whole thing is, I just don't think Bronny is that talented of a basketball player. I think that the whole thing got sped up. I personally felt, and let's be really clear, my opinion on this is not matter. If you're a if LeBron James, I wouldn't care about my opinion on this either. If I'm Bronny, I wouldn't care about my opinion on this. What I'm saying is, I always felt that he probably should have stayed at USC a little longer. I think there's a little bit down there for him to be a solid NBA player, but they just threw so much at him. I remember opening night, the Griffies and all that. So when it doesn't go that way, you can't pick and choose LeBron which way it's gonna be. That's just my whole issue with the whole situation. And I think that a lot of people are arguing different points. People who straight up hate LeBron don't want to see where he's coming from. I get where LeBron's coming from. I also get where Stephen A is coming from. And so that's just why this is a situation to me where two things can be right at once. But I just feel as a father, I understand. As a basketball player, that's corny. And if I was Bronny myself, I hit my dad right away, like, yo, stop.
I mean, look, real talk. At some point, if I'm Bronny, and you know what? I'm glad you said it the way that you said it. Because I remember when the draft was coming up and LeBron James, man, this makes more sense than I thought it was going to do. I remember, and I don't know if y'all remember this interview, but LeBron James in the interview was talking about how Bronny don't give a damn about none of what he's saying. Like Bronny plays basketball and he comes home and he plays video games. He does not see none of this shit and he does not care about none of this shit. To me, that when I heard that told me everything I needed to hear about Bronny James.
I kind of don't believe that.
No. Look, whether we believe it or not, I'm going to take the man at his word because I don't believe it either. But I'm going to take the man at his word. But here's why I'm going to take
our phone, and these niggas grew up with phones.
Yeah,
so.
But here's why I'm going to take LeBron James at his word. Because at some point, Bronny got to be like, yo, Dad, you got to chill. Dad, take your ass off Twitter. Stop saying that shit. Like, let me hoop. Let me hoop. I get you. I feel you. But, Dad, let me hoop. This Stephen A. Smith, fam, you ain't got to do that shit for me. I'm straight.
Yeah.
Bronny's probably not thinking that shit at all because Bronny just playing. And then when I'm done, I'm playing video games. Just like Travis Hunter asked me like, yo, I just train all day and I play video games. The difference is that Travis tells you I eat, sleep, drink, think football. I don't know that Bronny does that because Bronny's not talking for himself. His dad is. And at some point, especially when his dad done, we gonna find out what Bronny's really like because now all them dudes gonna be looking at him like food.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be sink or swim.
This last warm-up topic, then we're gonna get to the local hour, kind of goes in with this, is what I want to talk about being insincere about media coverage, because this goes on to something that happened after LeBron Stephen A. I think we forgot about Charles Barkley and Kendrick Perkins getting into it last night from inside the NBA, where Chuck on a whole little rant was saying that network of fools, and then it was funny, he said, we gonna be fools too, and we join them next year. Talking about how they always talk about the Lakers and the Warriors and things like that, and it got into a whole conversation about how media is covered. What I am sick and tired of with the NBA conversation. Oh, we want real basketball coverage and da-da-da-da. Y'all niggas don't watch or listen to real basketball coverage. Y'all niggas don't watch or listen to any real coverage. If that was the case, journalism wouldn't be either dead or at the very best on life support right now. We can sit up here and talk about the hot take artists, the podcasters, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Y'all niggas is listening and watching to this. What's the reason why you got to come up with a hot take topic on YouTube so you can get views for whatever your content is? Because crap sells. That's just really what it comes down to. And so for everybody saying we want the real stuff, you're not watching the real stuff, bro. I really want to know what NBA today's ratings are because they're not watching that stuff. You want to hear about Stephen A. Much y'all hate Stephen A. Y'all hate Pat McAfee. Why do you think they're getting paid the big bucks? Because at the end of the day, y'all still watch them. I don't think nobody cares about actual coverage of these sports. Go ahead, Dante.
I somewhat disagree. I think the shit that they put out is for the casuals. Because at the end of the day, the casuals are the one that they want to bring in. Niggas like us, we want the in-depth coverage because we need the in-depth coverage. We actually help provide the in-depth coverage. So for us, it's a difference. It's a different need and a different want. And it feels like banging your head against the wall, listening to them talk about Mike versus LeBron every 3 business days. So I think it's a thing where a lot of people who are saying, well, y'all don't want to watch that. It's like, no, the casuals don't want to watch that. There's a market for it. It's just that I think people have to accept that that market is a lot smaller than we believe. It's not as many people it's not as many people. It's very much a niche market. It's not what I mean when I say overall public.
what I mean when I say people don't want that, like, let's be real. The casuals, like you just said, are the ones who make the money. If you're a big business, you don't care about the niche. Area. Y'all don't care. Y'all not the niggas. It's like when it's like if you putting out a movie, you know what I'm saying? Prime example. I'm a Marvel head, right? Like I know all the little small stuff that people want. The average person don't care what happened 5 movies ago. They want to know why Iron Man on here, why this. That's what it is. They're marketing to their people. So the average, and this has nothing to do, I'm not saying nothing, but this is with media in general. It's not just sports. Like if you everybody say, oh, pay attention to the local elections. Yeah, that's true. But you know what gets clicks? Trump every day. Trump. So that's why you open up your Apple News app, and all 6 stories got something with this idiot. Because and you're right. The local elections is what counts, but niggas don't care about. So that's what I'm getting tired of. This is
one of those things where 2 things could be right at the same time here too. Because I have said it before. The casuals is what makes the world go round in this situation. Like Courtney talk about hockey. I'm not a hockey head, but I know certain names, and when I hear certain names, I perk up. It's just and like the dude that got traded today. Like I know him because he was with the Carolina Panthers. I was trying to remember if he was there when they won the Stanley Cup or not, but I knew who he was, so it made me perk up. It's the same thing with the NBA. I'm probably not gonna perk up if I'm a casual. I'm not gonna perk up if I hear Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's name, or I'm not gonna perk up if I hear Donovan Mitchell's name. Pause on all of that, but if I hear the Lakers and I hear the Celtics, oh shit, it's lit. Is we about to get them again? That's why you continuously see people say, "Oh man, David Stern already had pushed the button. It would be Celtics and Lakers in the finals. The script is already written." The casuals are doing that. The people that love basketball don't want to hear that shit, and they don't mind it being the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. But low key, you know who don't want that? The owners. You know who don't want that? The casuals, because they don't give a damn. And you know how we knows this? The New Jersey Nets versus the San Antonio Spurs. They was the finals watched. For what? Like nobody watched, nobody gave a damn, and yet it was Tim Duncan. It was some of the best players in the NBA. So I get and I totally agree with what Charles Barkley said. And low key, yeah, Kendrick Perkins was singing the praises of those teams too. But the NBA is always fought a battle, and this is another thing that we just don't hear a lot. The NBA has always fought the battle of diehards and casuals. Diehards is gonna go to the games, they're gonna watch and all of that. But really, when you think about it, there's less diehard basketball fans than people realize. And quite honestly, some of these people that swear they're diehard fans are not diehard fans of basketball. They're diehard fans of people. Because the NBA in 1979 made the decision to put player over team. And eventually that bubble was going to burst. And we saw it after Mike retired for a little bit. And now we're seeing it now. Because when LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant retires, no casual is going to be sitting over there like, oh, man, that's Shea. And like I said on summer sessions, and I'll say it here, when we lose that gold medal in LA in 2028, the bubble really going to burst.
All right, man. Let's go on to the local hour.
Go ahead, Courtney, sing it.
Oh, she was on mute.
I know you didn't just sing that shit on mute. Oh
yeah,
my
you
God.
sung that on mute. Hold on. There we go. That is a fine. That is a fine.
Well, everybody here got fine.
Oh, that's a fine.
We did. We all got fine today.
Everyone got fine today.
But sing that shit, Courtney. Sing that shit.
Yeah.
It's the local hour.
There we go. There we go. Local hour brought to you by nobody. Here we got lots to talk about. The Bears made some moves this week, but before we get in that, man, I'm fed up, bro. I'm fed up with niggas today. That should have been the title of this episode. I'm fed up. But I was watching our guys, Cap and J Hood, on the Cap and J Hood morning show, friends of the program, and they. Yeah, shout out Hood, shout out to Cap. And they were playing a clip from Chris Canty's morning show. He has a morning show called Unsportsmanlike. It's him, Evan Cohen, and Michelle Salmon. And we all know that Chris Canty is not a favorite for Bears fans. But this tape right here would kind of piss me off more just from a fan perspective. I'm going to play this 2-minute clip of what he said on his show that they played here on ESPN Radio Chicago.
So put Caleb Williams in a position where he's all out of excuses. You got the head coach you wanted. They're rebuilding the offensive line. You got plus starters right now in that unit. And so Caleb Williams has to go out there and produce. When you talked about the Chicago Bears in 2024, it was poor head coach, game management specifically, and it was the offensive line that was scapegoated as to why Caleb Williams' career couldn't take off, why Caleb Williams couldn't show as well as Jaden Daniels did with the Washington Commanders, who went a pick after him in the 2024 draft. Now, Caleb Williams don't have no excuses. He's got the weapons. He's got a running game with DeAndre Swift. He's got 2 plus receivers in Rome Odunze and DJ Moore. You've got a good tight end in Cole Kmet. You've got a rebuilt offensive line, and you've got a head coach who was the apple of everybody's eye during this hiring cycle. Caleb Williams is all out of excuses. So if the Chicago Bears finish in the cellar of the NFC North yet again, this time it's not on the dysfunction of the franchise. This time it would be on Caleb Williams.
I know we're always going to put Lamar and to another extent, Josh Allen in a different bucket when we talk about pressure, because we have a 2-time MVP and our most recent MVP who can't break through and get to a Super Bowl. So at a certain point in the season, there's always going to be that conversation about pressure on them. But outside of those 2 guys who are on a different tier, I don't know if there's anybody in the NFL that has more pressure on them heading into this year than Caleb Williams because of everything that CeCe just outlined. You were the number 1 overall pick that they laid in wait for years. They bring you in. They surround you with more talent than most rookies ever get when they go into a situation like that. You get the head coach that you publicly campaigned for that knows how to execute from a scheme and an offensive standpoint. They go out there and they fortify the offensive line and they bring in a guy like Joe Thuney, who's only 32 years old and he's a 4-time All-Pro. Oh, and a Super Bowl champion 4 times over. He knows what it's like to work with elite quarterbacks, and he can not only protect you, which Caleb needs because he was sacked 68 times last year. So they're not only helping him there, but helping him from a standpoint of we're bringing in a guy who knows what the all-time greats look like, and he can help you in that way. So there are no excuses left for Caleb Williams, as CeCe mentioned. And I think that there is a ton of pressure on him and the Bears to turn this thing around really fast. And that's going to be tough to do in that division.
So the name of that show.
You okay?
Hell no.
Dante got the same look I got. First of all, the name of that show is Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. The name should be called 3 Stupid Motherfuckers. That's what the name of the show should really be, because that is just egregious, bro. What I'm sick and tired of, and I'm sounding like bang a year ago when people was talking about the Bears media making excuses for Justin Fields. And that's one thing I'll say about Chicago media, specifically Bears media. And I'm not saying this as a fan. I'm saying this as a credentialed member of the media for the last 4 seasons, going into my 5th. And I'm naming my credentials for any idiots out there on YouTube who might ask me who I am. Okay, so let's get that out the way right now. If there's any market who don't make excuses for this sorry organization, it is the Chicago media. If anything, we put the fire to them more than anybody. There were no excuses last year. You had voted as the worst coach in the NFL, Matt Eberflus. You had an offensive coordinator who didn't even make it to Thanksgiving, who you had players saying they didn't know what was going on in May. Like, you shouldn't have problems that early. You had an offensive line that allowed their quarterback to be sacked 68 times, and actually he avoided like 50 sacks himself if you look at the advanced numbers and things like that. These are not excuses. These are stone cold facts. Chris Canty is the exact example of why just because you played don't mean you know everything. He's an idiot. We just got to call like it is. He keeps saying, oh, Jaden Daniels better than Caleb Williams. Yes, he had a better year than Caleb Williams. Anybody who debates the fact that Jaden Daniels didn't have a better year than Caleb Williams is stupid as well. But when you provide him the reasons for why that season happened, he doesn't care. He goes in the tunnel vision and keeps sticking on why he thinks Caleb Williams is a bust. And he does this with multiple other things. This idiot sat up there morning and morning and tried to explain to people why the offensive line wasn't as bad as they're showing it off to be. You're right. It was worse than what they were showing it to be. Multiple centers. They had the most offensive line lineups in the entire league. And to come up here and say, oh, well, if it doesn't work this year, he has no more excuses. It's a second-year player, man. Second-year player. And let's be 100% real. Y'all did the same thing CJ Stroud a year ago, and then when he didn't know how to throw that ball, he was throwing the trill burgers. Y'all were killing him after that. That's when you were praising him the year before. So if Jaden Daniels gets the year 2 sophomore slump, you're going to do the same thing. And to the woman on there who was talking, the thing he has the most pressure out of any quarterback in the league and some of the most asinine stuff I'd have never heard. What about Josh Allen, who legitimately lost and keeps losing to Patrick Mahomes? What about Lamar Jackson? What about Lamar Jackson, who MVP season after MVP season can't cut it in playoffs? What about Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers? They still can't get over the hump. Like, I'm sick and tired of this, man. Let's just say what it is. Don't like the Bears. Don't come up here and sit and call Bears fans and Bears media making excuses for them. And another thing, saying that, oh, you waited in the wings for them for years. That's not true. Nobody even thought the Bears had a chance of getting Caleb Williams. We still thought that there was a chance for Justin Fields to turn around. So I'm just tired of this idiot talking about stuff he don't know, man. Enough of it. Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, bro. It's lazy. Bang talks about it all the time. Just lazy producers and lazy players. Like, one thing, and people try to say you hating when you say it, but no, it's people who do this very same content thing. A lot of these guys are only on these shows because they played, and does that give you a certain credibility? Of course, but that's just strictly with X's and O's for me. Like, when it comes to actually saying things that make fucking sense, things that are not just strictly narrative driven, things that actually show that you are out here watching these games. I can guarantee you, Chris Canty don't watch the Bears. He don't watch the Bears at all. That man did not like Caleb Williams. A lot of these dudes don't like Caleb Williams because of his swag, because of the way he carries himself. And they have taken that from college to the pros. And now anytime they can try to shit on him, they're going to do it. You're not going to sit here and tell me that a rookie that got sacked 68 times and still managed to have 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions and throw for the most passing yards for a rookie in franchise history is under the 8 ball, or like behind the 8 ball. It's like, what are you talking about? This is just step 2 in his development. And now he has a new head coach who has to put in a whole new system. If anything, year 2, you're giving him grace, like new O-line or not. If anything, this is the time where you say, okay, now let's see where he's at and how he's going to adapt to a new system and a new coach. Not, oh, well, he got the most popular coach, now he ain't got no excuses. That's bullshit. Like, I don't understand why. Well, I mean, I understand why. Because, again, they go for the names, and these people have built-in followings and whatnot. And he played in New York, so obviously that's somebody that people liked or whatever. But they say a lot of dumb shit. And the woman, that was just foolish. It was absolutely ridiculous. But it's something that is going to come with the territory, and as Bear fans, we have to realize that now, we've never been in this position before where we have a quarterback who was selected number 1 overall on our team. And so whenever people need that, easy clickbait, something they can quickly just run into, jump to, let's talk about Caleb Williams. That's what we're going to get a lot until he has to, goes to that elite level that he was projected to be at. Because, again, his rookie season was not terrible. Like, he got sacked 68 times, bro. So, I mean, I'm tired of it, but I know it's something that we're gonna have to live with as long as Caleb Williams is our quarterback. And once he starts lighting shit up, then I think it'll be a complete 180, and you'll see people talking way different.
He sacked 68 times. He avoided 50. He avoided 50. Like that's over 100 sacks. It's ridiculous. Go ahead, man.
First of all, let me say I stand with Jay Hood. Not just because he's a mentor of mine, not just because he's a big homie, because Chris Canty is just a stupid big black motherfucker at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't mind saying it in that way. But here's the thing when it comes to the Canty thing, right? You know what? I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to apologize to Chris Canty for saying that. Reason why I'm going to apologize to Chris Canty for saying that is because I don't want to run no man down like he running some dude down off of one season. I consistently watch this show and I use it for white noise. And when I watch the show, I hear them run down all of these things, right? Without context most of the time. And when they do it, I know they only doing that shit for ratings. They doing that shit because Chicago is one of their biggest markets that they have. And since Chicago is one of their biggest markets, they want to appeal to that market. They want to get those people to listen to the show. I constantly hear Chris Canty talk about how people in Chicago don't want to hear that Caleb Williams. Fan, his wife is from Chicago. If you really wanted to listen to people in Chicago was Justin Field fans. Mm-hmm. They have been skeptical for Caleb Williams since day one. And you talking about Bears fans like we all in on Caleb. We not all in on Caleb now, even though we think he gonna be good. We're skeptical. If you really talk to a Bear fan, you will know. We like, I don't know. But you talking about Bears fans like we all in and we not. No, I don't know who you talking to, but your wife need to take you around some real Bears fans and some real Chicagoans, and they'll be like, no. But you using that shit for fodder. You using that shit to get ratings. So since you using that to do that shit, I'll call you that because we using that now for ratings. We using that now for clicks. We using that now for the same shit you doing. Now, if you really want to be real, we still skeptical of Caleb Williams. We think he gonna be great, but we still skeptical if this shit gonna happen or not because we ain't never seen that shit in Chicago in the first place. We skeptical of Ben Johnson. We think Ben Johnson gonna be a dope coach, but we ain't seen that shit since Mike Dicker. So that means that the majority of the people you talking to ain't seen that shit in their lifetime. That's what it is. But we know what he up against. And we know it's more than just the offensive line and coaching. He's up against a culture that has been built for years. If you talk to a real Bears fan, and matter of fact, if you talk to a casual Bear fan, they're going to say the same shit. So that's what I hate about the Chris Canty shit. Because it's clear to me it is production. It is clear to me that this shit is produced. And this shit is clear to me it is to get a rise out of people, to get people in Chicago to listen to that raggedy ass morning show.
And I think I was more offended as a media member than I was as a fan. Like,
no,
nigga,
I know what bad.
You think I drive out of my way to watch these bums lose and make excuses for them? Like, come on, man.
What bad. I know what lazy ass production looks like. It's lazy ass producing. It's here's this. Do this topic. Push this here. All the Bears fans ain't gonna like this. Let's set up a rivalry between us and the other local morning show, one of the biggest markets we got, and let's see how that rolls there. Cause he's not gonna do that shit. Cause he's not gonna do that shit with the Giants. He's a fucking former Giant. He's not gonna do that shit with the Giants. But he's gonna say he hate the Jets and everything that he stands for. I don't know if they're in LA, but he's not going to do that with the Rams. It's easy to do that shit here. That's why I'm like, fam, That shit's just lazy producing. And that's why I only use that shit as white noise, because this is why I don't like First Take like that. And this is why I don't like a lot of morning shows that's like that shit. Because you could tell that it's lazy production. You can tell that that shit is lazy. And I don't be invested in that shit. But when I hear it, I'm like, man, get the fuck up out of here with that shit. And it wouldn't, and honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if it was the Bears. That shit could have been the Washington Commanders. And I'd still be like, yo, it's just lazy, man. I hate lazy shit.
Yeah.
That's my issue. It's just lazy to me.
That's I'm just tired of hearing this dude talk. Corey, do you have any thoughts on this as an outsider? No.
No, y'all said just about everything that needed to be said. Again, he could really learn something. You don't have something nice to say, maybe you just don't say it.
Yeah, I just want niggas to pay attention. I don't think that's a lot to ask. But let's go to an actual moves that were made this week by the Chicago Bears. The Bears made 2 trades, adding to their offensive line, traded for 2 veterans. The first trade was made a couple days ago. They traded a 2025 6th-round pick to the Los Angeles Rams for offensive lineman Jonah Jackson. Jonah Jackson missed majority of last year because he got hurt. Only played 4 games, but he played with Ben Johnson in Detroit, and he was also a Pro Bowler the season before. But the big trade that a lot of people will talk about, before we get there, also Jonah Jackson, like I said, he was a Pro Bowler under Ben Johnson. He gave up 0 sacks on 494 pass blocks in 2022, and he only gave up 2 sacks in his last full season play, which was 2023, on 432 pass block snaps. That'd be a good adjustment right there. And as far as big move, the Bears traded a future 4th-round pick for multiple All-Pro guard Joe Thuney from the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs could not afford to bring him back, so the Bears will be bringing him to anchor their offensive line. Man, I love these moves. I love both of them. I think that the Bears have put themselves in an interesting position to be able to build these trenches up, both offensive line and defensive line, before the draft even hits, was something that I didn't expect. I didn't see any of these 2 picks coming, even though Ben Johnson kind of alluded to this during the combine. He said, if you look at what the Carolina Panthers did last year, trading for 2 pieces, that really transformed their offensive line entirely. And then that's exactly what they did. Went over there. Both of these guys have history with Ben Johnson and Ryan Post. So that was interesting to me as well. But, Jonah Jackson, I think that'd be really good. But Joe Thuney, man, that's a really, really great one. He's been an All-Pro 3 times his last 3 years. I mean, I can't remember the last All-Pro guard the Bears had. What was it? It had to be on the 06 Bears, maybe, the last time they had that. So love the trade. I think doesn't close the door on them drafting an offensive lineman that picked in. Hopefully Will Campbell's there. I don't know if he will make it to pick in, but that gives you a lot more flexibility now with other moves. We'll see if they sign Dowling from the Atlanta Falcons on Monday. And we're going to get exactly into the defensive line and defensive tackle options out there in just a minute. But Dante, what you think about this move from the Bears? What you think about it?
I'm excited. I always obviously try not to go too far into that excitement, but when we've known for years that the trenches are what we need to fix, and we've seen them go directly into trying to fix the trenches with quality talent, not just the bargain shopping that Ryan Poles has done the last few years. They've gone out and they've taken on contracts that are, kind of solid. They've taken up a chunk of what we had. I think we had 81 million. I think it's down to like 51 now, something like that, based off what we've taken from the 2. But bringing in an All-Pro and a guy who has proven to be successful in the system that your coach runs, I think is very important. And I think that's something that we need. And it also, as you do more of this before the draft, you could get to a point where you damn near fix your trenches before you get to the draft, which opens up to so many possibilities. Obviously, you're still going to draft for depth. I think you're still going to get some young guys in there that you can learn from these All-Pros, especially with Joe. He's older, so he won't be there that much longer. But I think it's a situation where you now have the opportunity to go best player available at 10. And I'm still anti-running back at 10. but I think that gives you the opportunity, to do a lot. And so with these two, we talked about how the interior was just terrible, and like how so many plays were getting blown up just by the time, just as soon as the ball was snapped, they were getting blown up in the middle of the play. And if the middle of the play is blown up, you had somebody in Caleb's face within 1 second of him getting the ball, and that changed everything about the offense. So I'm excited, bro. I think, man, I want to see what they do on the other side of the ball, but I think with this, it's next level.
Bang, what's your thoughts on these trades? What you feel about them, and how you think it changes the Bears draft free agent strategy?
I love what I've seen from the Bears this offseason so far, to the point where I laughed when I saw a meme that said that the Bears are like the 3 or 4 time offseason champions in the NFL. They needed to improve on the offensive line. And Jackson is somebody that Ben knows, because he's a former Detroit Lion. He went to the Rams. He got hurt. And then the replacement just did a good job. So he was expendable, but he has experience with Ben Johnson. So there's that. The Thuney trade I love. Thuney is a trade not just for the offensive line, but for the locker room. He comes from 2 winning locker rooms, the Patriots and the Chiefs. And he is quite possibly on a trajectory of a Hall of Fame career. That pickup is more than the offensive line. That's for the locker room. That's somebody who comes in and he helps change the culture of the locker room. And you trust him in that locker room. So I love those 2 deals, and I do think it changes what the Bears need to do in draft, or what they might do in the draft. Because remember, we still ain't got to free agency yet, and they got money. Yeah. So even with those 2 trades, they still got top 5 cap room. So being that they got top 5 cap room, you starting to look and you say, hey, do we go throw the bank up at Dahlman and get a center there? Or can we spend a little bit less? I know you didn't like it, but Coleman Shelton is probably better between those 2 than he is between who he had beforehand. Is Braxton Jones healthy or projected to be healthy when the season starts? And do you trust him? Like, is he better with these people on his line? I'm sure he's going to be a better offensive lineman, but is he healthy? Are you looking with that money? Are you looking at a trade? I was looking at NFL Live today, and they even mentioned the Bears as a potential candidate to go after Trey Hendrickson. And so even when you start hearing stuff like that, it's like, huh. So I'm really waiting for free agency to start on Monday, the new league year to start, to see what happens during the draft. But if you put your eggs in the right batch, then yeah, you look at certain things as a luxury, and you start to look at Genty or trading back and being able to get Hampton in a later pick, or you look at some ain't shit character players that they say that's performed really well, like a James Pierce. Do you trade back to go get him, or can you get him with that Carolina pick that you got? You got 2 picks in the second round. So you look at that too. So I think it puts the Bears in a great position to have some flexibility. But job's not finished.
Job's not finished, in the words of Kobe Bean Bryant. I want to go to these defensive line options, man. And before I get to the big fish, which is Trey Hendrickson, which I'm really interested. Well, not really. I know Courtney's take on it. I want to get Courtney's, on air take about this. But Khalil Mack, the Bears think they slick. So the Bears put out a video on their Instagram, not just Instagram, the Twitter page. Also threw it on Instagram, also threw it on their YouTube, that said build a legacy or something like that. And it featured Peanut Tillman, Bears legend. It featured Brian Urlacher, Pro Football Hall of Famer. It featured Julius Peppers, Pro Football Hall of Famer. But all three of those gentlemen, former Bears who are retired now, each have one highlight each. Who's the man who had 4 highlights in this video? Mr. Khalil Mack.
The first highlight.
The first highlight, the middle highlight, and the last highlight. In fact, the last thing you see in that video is Khalil dapping up the fans. They think we're stupid. We all know that these deals are announced literally a minute after 12 p.m. Central, whatever time the free agency begins on Monday. Multi-million dollar deals aren't put together in that short amount of time. They're talking now. Let's just be 100% real about that. That I believe Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport got about 8 tweets in their drafts right now that they're going to send out when they're legally able to send it out. That DeAndre Swift deal got announced right away. I don't even think the clock hit 12:01 before the DeAndre Swift deal was announced. And this is not me being a conspiracy theorist. I know nothing about this outside of what I said on Monday. That reports say that Khalil Mack is just in coming back because he loved playing in Chicago. His wife is from Chicago. His son was born in Chicago. He didn't really want to leave Chicago. The Bears traded him to start the rebuild. But they didn't do this for no reason. To me, this signals that there's a good chance that Mr. Khalil Mack could be, if not the first, one of the top things that's announced on Monday. Before we get to the other options, I just quickly want y'all thoughts on this crypt video. Excuse my dog in the background. You can hear him barking. This nigga has beef with the UPS man. What do y'all think about this? Bang, I'm gonna go to you.
One sentence. Y'all niggas ain't slick. Next.
Dante.
Yeah, definitely a little marketing ploy. Let them know. Even if they haven't started talking to him, it's just, hey, bro, just remember, we got a lot of love for you over here. You want to come back.
Yeah, I personally, I put a tweet on 7 at the Halloween page of Bruce Wayne looking at the Batman suit coming out I'm like, that's everybody looking at Khalil Mack jersey. I've got multiple texts today from some homies that said, and I'm glad I'm mad I threw my jersey. So we'll see how that happens. Mine got a stain on it, so I had like a stain that you couldn't wash out. So I'm mad about that. I think I got an orange one laying around somewhere, but we'll see what happens with that. But it would not shock me. But let's go with Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson, defensive end for the Cincinnati Bengals. Man, he has been one of the biggest things been talked about with all the financial issues and cap issues that is going on with Cincinnati. They have still yet pay Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase had one of the best seasons in NFL history by wide receiver last year. They gave the tag to T. Higgins, and now they have granted Henderson the opportunity to look for a trade. Now, what we're hearing from multiple sources is that it's not going to take too much. People said a late second rounder or early third rounder, but an extension has to come with it. He's looking for an extension worth $30 million a year. Now, Trey Hendrickson is only 30 years old, freshly turned 30 in December. And he has put up 35 sacks combined in the last two seasons with 17 sacks each. This, to me, is a swing big move. We had a nice debate about this in the chat earlier today, really last night and today, about whether the Bears should do this. Now, I want to be clear. Nobody's been telling me this, but I do believe the Bears are in talks. I do believe they're one of the many teams who are going to try to get Trey Hendrickson on this roster. And because the trades they made to add to the offensive line gives them a little bit more flexibility to be real more aggressive on the defensive line. Brad Biggs also said himself that he expects a big aggressive move for the defensive line, whether it is paying a Josh Sweat or maybe a trade. And here's an option right here. I think Mikey put it in the chat of what he thinks will be a reasonable trade to get Trey Hendrickson. I think this one will be, if it's offered, this will be something where like the Bears would get Trey Hendrickson, pick 17 and pick 81. Cincinnati would get pick 10 and pick number 72, but the Bears give him an $120 million deal. And the Bears, you can go defensive end, left tackle, running back with pick 17, 39, and 42. So you still get your picks and you get an impact player. I know a lot of people have said that, you know, they should try to build up the whole thing. And I get that. This defensive line is smelly outside of Montez Sweat. The crazy thing about Montez Sweat is many flashes he's on. I don't think Montez Sweat is a finished product yet. I think Montez Sweat can be even better with the right talent around him. If I've got a Trey Hendrickson and I've got a Montez Sweat, then you go out there and you draft some guys, and you got maybe a year 3 Ron Dexter and things like that. To me, that's a really good threat right there. I'm not opposed to adding any of these other defensive linemen, like Joey Bosa's going to hit in free agency. He can be signed right now because he got cut. I think he's going to San Francisco to having a MAG alliance with his brother, but he's available out of there. Josh Sweat, like I just mentioned. Javon Hargrave is going to get cut, and Jonathan Allen has been cut today, even though there's some talk that he might be going to San Francisco. Nix these options, there's no reason for the Bears to come out empty-handed in this defensive line pursuit. I'm all for that. I say big game shopping. Go out there and see what it will take to get Trey Hendrickson doing. Courtney, I want your thoughts on this. I know you said that you think it'll probably be, not I won't say better. I won't put words in your mouth, but you said that the Bears don't need Trey Hendrickson. What do you think about this?
Well, all I really was trying to say was it depends on the cost, right? And for me, it probably it also kind of the Bengals kind of got not shafted. Obviously, they say they gave him permission to go out and talk to different teams, but all I'm thinking about is Myles Garrett, right? What's the ask on Myles Garrett going to be now? Because Trey Hendrickson is also now seeking a trade. All I'm saying is that I know I'm not familiar, like I said, with the finer points of the Bears cap space, but if it's going to cost too much, I personally think that there are other needs that needed to be addressed on that team, maybe more so than that particular position. Also, it felt again, to me, the Bears kind of already made when I know Montez Sweat isn't Trey Hendrickson, but I felt like that was their big sort of pass rush splash. I don't like that just rhymed, but do you know what I mean? Am I tripping? That felt like their big Ryan Poles, and that was his big signing as far as pass rush. Also, as far as I know, Micah Parsons has not re-signed with Dallas yet. So do you feel, if hypothetical, do you feel comfortable giving Trey Hendrickson that kind of money, knowing what's still possibly out there? That's
a good point. That's a good point. Also, because friend of the program, Tom Pelissero said on Rich Eisen today that the Micah thing you just brought up was something that people need to pay attention to. Because they said today that he has not signed a contract, and he said that if teams submit offers that he believes the Cowboys will at least listen. That I agree with you. If I got to choose between Micah and Trey Hendrickson, I like Trey Hendrickson, but give me Micah Parsons. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, and Micah's younger. Yeah. Obviously, he's still going to command a ton of money. And I'm not saying, I just don't I know Dante said it. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm not targeting you or attacking you. I just don't like the idea that anything less than Trey Hendrickson is bargain shopping, especially considering the pass rush talent that's still out there. Again, not even talking about just Micah Parsons, right? There's still guys that are available this offseason and in free agency that is Chase Young bargain shopping?
For me, I don't want Chase
Young.
Hell yeah. Yeah, keep him away from my team. He got his ass.
Yeah, Chase Young. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that
hell yeah.
My bad. Fucking jump me.
I will call O'Hare. I will call O'Hare.
Let him go gangbang in DC. We don't need him on our team.
That's one of the first things that comes to mind that isn't Micah Parsons or Myles Garrett.
Yeah. When I made that statement,
there's one pass rusher away. So my thought is, if you sink that kind of money into this one singular player, does that stop your organization from making more moves?
Oh, when I made that statement in the chat, I wasn't even thinking about Michael or Myles Garrett. I think those are pie in the sky pieces. And also, So for me, when you have the fact that he played with Dennis Allen before, so the pieces start to fall into place, and it makes sense for us to make that move. So for me, it was one of those things where it's I do this, and that leads you to the point where now I can legit go best player available at 10, whoever that may be. It changes things. So with him just being 30, I agree. If you can get Michael Parsons, go get Michael Parsons 1,000%. That's a no-brainer. But I think in terms of what's realistic and work, and like to Orlando's point, you can restructure some contracts to free up a little more money. So if you do have to give him that 30, it doesn't really stop anything.
I think as Bears fans, y'all are so like you've been burned so many times. Why wouldn't it be within the realm of possibility? Michael Parsons hasn't signed the shit. And really, if you see the way he talks on Twitter, he acts like he has no loyalty to anybody. Like he just wants to be BFFs and play with everybody. So all I'm saying is have some faith, maybe.
I got faith.
I think Stephen Jones would literally probably end his father if he tried to get rid of Michael Parsons at this point. Like
they just freed up $36 million. He ain't going nowhere.
Also, Jerry Jones has attacked him. He waits to the absolute last minute to sign people. He started it with Emmitt Smith. He did it with Dak Prescott. He did it with CeeDee Lamb. He's probably going to do the same thing with Michael Parsons. So I do get that. But if I got this in front of me, I know it's great.
I understand
it'd be hard for me to turn that down.
In the bush, but again, he is getting older. I'm just thinking if you commit to someone like that you already kind of did it with your offensive line options, right? Like Joe, how old is Joe Thuney?
32.
32. But I think
you're basically in a what you got to win right now.
No. I think this is what we're missing. These are probably these guys' last big contract. In 3 years, you're gonna have to pay Caleb Williams a boatload of money. These are the guys you get. If you continuously draft and all of these draft picks hit, you can't pay everybody. So you go and you look at a Trey Hendrickson and you say, he's 30. I could give him a 3-year deal right now, a boatload of money. And same thing with Thuney, you can restructure his deal. Jonah's already good. And then you could go probably sign you another defensive guy and then spend your draft capital to maybe get a Hendrickson, but not spend all of your draft capital because it's probably going to take a day 2 pick. So you could go get your second or your third, depending on what the bidding looks like, to go get a Trey Hendrickson, pay him some bread. But then by the time that you got to pay Caleb, you could get that bread off the books and then you could pay him, but then some of the people you might draft can hit too. That's why you do that.
Correct. And I completely understand. My only thing was I didn't know if your organization would, after you give out one big contract, nobody wants to spend no more fucking money. You traded away all the picks that you can. Yeah, you've got that cap space, but if you're giving this dude 30-something million a season, are you going to want to spend more?
No, Virginia
and what are you going to
Yeah, Virginia did. That sounds bad.
That's
but y'all know what I mean.
It's the truth, though. The purse is open. We're not trying to be mean.
It's a new day.
It's a new era in this
day.
I have no comments on this whatsoever. I plead the fifth.
I don't know about that, y'all. Nah, ain't no Kevin Warren ain't going, G.
Y'all
want a new stadium? Hey, y'all want to play in the new stadium in 2030?
What a bunk suit. He said, what my man Anthony Davis to say? I'm running things. That's Kevin Warren. One question before you wrap up the local route. JG in the chat says thoughts on Dolman. What's y'all thoughts on Dolman particularly? I've seen some people think he's not really a good fit with the Bears.
No, well, see, I don't know in terms of Ben Johnson's scheme fit, but I do know in terms of what we want which would be somebody to take some of that pressure off of Caleb and identifying what the defense is doing. He does do that well. But in Atlanta, I know they have a number, but they're not hell bent on breaking the bank simply because the guy that came in did a pretty adequate job. Their offensive line has
Right.
always been solid. So for me,
Right.
depending on the money that we want to spend, I would much rather spend that money on the defensive line and then, like you said, go somewhere else, go in another direction with center. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad because, like you said, this is now the time with Caleb on a rookie deal. They can overspend at a couple positions just to make sure we can really get this thing rolling the way we want it to go.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where after these two trades, you got Darnell Wright, who a lot of people were giving a lot of shit to, but you also got to understand Darnell Wright was playing with absolutely nobody. I think around better talent, he's going to be better. I don't agree with Bang and Lawrence Holmes, Coleman Shelton thing. The only thing I want Coleman Shelton to do next year is ask me White or Brown Rice.
You could convince me. I ain't said I want it. I said you could convince me depending on what happens.
Anybody that had to play next to Nate Davis, bro, I'm gonna shoot you a little bill. Nate Davis had him getting smoked out there, like
he can
on several plays.
He can convince me to get a large queso with my chips at Chipotle.
I mean, look, he's the. I mean, if you go by the numbers, he's the third ranked center in free agency right now. G, you can convince.
My eyes tell me he should be an Uber driver. But that's all we got for the local hour. We're gonna take a quick 1-minute break. Here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Then we're gonna come back. We're gonna go through the NFL hot stove. Then after that, me, Bang, and Dante get into some NBA talk, man. Here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. We'll be right back in a minute.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice Trey, go for Trey, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on display, haters old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
We are back. What's going on over there, Bell? They get through the artwork like 5 times.
Hey, shit one more time.
Hey, I didn't click it. Oh, that wasn't me. I clicked nothing. I clicked was yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that was not me. All I did
whatever he's getting paid, it's not enough.
It was not me. I clicked. This is everybody gets a fine today. We all fine today. It's a team fine.
No. Play the fucking push the button.
Hey, you right. See, this has been taking me longer because I don't have Nikhil to play. If I will play
at the videos.
Whoa, that's a fine.
Clicking shit.
Yeah,
Be
man,
fair.
yeah. We got a lot going on today, man. I messed up the first 20 minutes of the show. I get a big fine. We all get fines today, man. But let's get into some fun. I'm pretty sure they don't even call it NFL hot stuff. I just call it that. But NFL hot stuff news, everything that's been going around the National Football League as we get ready for free agency on Monday, and we getting fully into draft season, man. First, 2 people got paid. Got to make some noise for them. Mr. Saquon Barkley, the Offensive Player of the Year, the newly minted Super Bowl champion. He just got us with a 2-year, $41 million contract extension, adding on to his already, I think it's 3 or 4 year deal that he's got with Philadelphia. And it looks like he might end his career as a Philadelphia Eagle and then go over to Vegas. There was a lot of rumors about Max Crosby potentially being on the trading block, especially with new ownership and things like that. But Max Crosby is going absolutely nowhere as he signs a massive 3-year, $106.5 million extension and makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. Courtney, any thoughts on these? What's your thoughts on these 2 brothers getting paid? Well, one brother and one nigga who never mind. What do you think about them getting paid?
I am thrilled for Saquon. I'm also really happy for all defensive players because Max Crosby absolutely just reset the market. And now we're going to be in a weird point where there's going to come a time. And how long is this contract again?
3 years. You talking about Saquon?
Max Crosby.
Max is 3-year extension.
Yeah, there's going to be a time in about 3 years where we look back on that deal and be like, wow, that was a fucking steal. So, I mean, good for him. Good for, what is he He's the highest paid non-offensive
Highest
player, right?
paid non-quarterback in the
That's
NFL.
crazy. That's crazy. Good for him.
And he gets
Good
to
for
live in
Saquon.
Vegas.
I hope that Joe Shane's having a terrible day, actually.
Yes, Joe Shane. I hope he's having. And it's funny, after Joe Shane showed that he shouldn't have a job on Hard Knocks, nobody wants to do Hard Knocks. First, they said it was going to be the Tar Heels and Bill Belichick. Them niggas was like, nah, last minute, we're not going to do that. Moving on, DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams, two former Pro Bowl wide receivers, are both on the market. Devontae Adams was cut by the New York Jets this week, so he's available to sign with a contract with a team anytime he likes. DK Metcalf is on the trading block, and I heard that teams are looking for a first rounder for DK Metcalf. Man, as far as actual options for these, I can see Devontae Adams going to the San Francisco 49ers. We have rumors that he wants to go out west. He loves living out west. I'm pretty sure he still has his house in Vegas. I don't see him following Aaron Rodgers to wherever his destination may be in. It might still be in the Meadowlands, as he might be playing for the Giants. We've heard some stories this week from a couple Giants beat writers that they think that they are in negotiations with the Giants. But, you know, with Aaron Rodgers, you never know what's on that nigga's mind, so who actually knows? But DK, I don't know. I'm willing to see if there's going to be any teams who are willing to pay what the Seahawks are asking for him, or is that price tag a little too high, man? But there's a lot of, you know, these are two real, even though Devontae isn't what he once was, I still think he's one of the best in the league. These are two big-time wide receivers who are available. Bane, what do you think about the market for DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams? Oh man, this is fine day, bro.
Hey,
This is
let me tap
okay.
in. Okay.
Wait a minute. So first off,
that's a fine.
as y'all see, my mic is off mute. The shit is off mute. I hit the button on my microphone. So
Still fine.
no excuses. It's still fine. But I had to hit this shit over here. I was kind of shocked and surprised that they said that there's some offers for a first and a third for DK Metcalf. I don't know if DK Metcalf is that much of a game changer enough to drop that on there. But the wide receiver, and also the wide receiver position is deep out here. So, like, I think you don't necessarily have to go get a DK or go get a Adams. You could go get a Cooper Kupp or somebody like that. So yeah, I don't know about all that, but I think they would be good. No, depending on where they go, they just got to go to the right team. Like, I don't want DK Metcalf to come to the Packers.
No, definitely not.
I got some bad news for you.
Oh, but
I can feel it.
Yeah, because I
feel it.
Oh wow, Geno Smith is going to the Raiders for a third round pick.
We have breaking news here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Geno Smith. What do you think about this? I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Who's gonna be the Seahawks quarterback?
Justin Fields to the Seahawks.
How?
Oh, Justin. No, they're not trading. If they got rid of Geno, these niggas is rebuilding.
Also, yeah, you got rid of Tyler Lockett, then you fucking also are trading DK Metcalf.
Yeah, they rebuilding.
You know, they're looking for Arch Manning. That's
we about to get back to the old school Seattle Seahawks when when they was terrible.
Exactly.
We back. We finally back.
We need an Arch Manning. You said what'd you say, Jag for flag? Pause. We need an Arch Manning.
Parch for Arch.
Parch for Arch. That's what it is. But I like this for Vegas. I think it's a cool move for Vegas. This still doesn't take them out of drafting a quarterback if Shedeur does fall. And you got a vet like Geno, who I think Geno's a solid, serviceable quarterback who can win you some games. And I think Pete Carroll
was Pete. Yeah, Pete was his coach.
Pete was his coach. Okay, yeah. Pete was his coach. I think that's a good look. I like this move for the Raiders. I like this move. Courtney, what you think about it?
I mean, it's cool.
Right.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm so sorry. It just doesn't move me. at all.
Like, yeah, these niggas not making playoffs, but at least I think it's better than what these niggas have had.
Hey, you know what it makes me think though?
What?
We are on the precipice of Aaron Rodgers getting Bill Belichick the fuck out of the NFL. I feel like we're closer and closer to Aaron Rodgers not having a job next season.
I would love nothing more. I would love nothing more.
Because he ain't calling Seattle for a job.
Because I mean, bro's running out of options. Like he's out of
he's begging the Giants, bro. He's begging the Giants.
And how is that situation going to be better for the Giants? That's what I
saw. He saw Joe Sheen be an idiot on national TV. He said, "Let me fleece him one more time. Hey, give me a job. You know, let's see if you can fuck this up a little bit more. Because nobody else really wants him. I mean,
said Tom Brady had to settle for Pete and Gino. Couldn't get Ben Johnson. So bad, so sad. Oh, I'm tired of hearing about Tom Brady and his 2% ownership. Nigga own 2% of the team more than we do. I'm tired of it. And Brady, my man, but enough. Let's go on to talk about Mr. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, he has not been tagged. We heard from multiple sources that the Vikings still want to re-sign Sam Darnold. We've heard something that could be a 2-year deal. We've also heard from Ian Rappaport that they want to build a team around him, and that leads to what Mike Florio said.
They want to build a team around who?
Sam Darnold. Exactly, nigga. Yeah. That's one of the most ridiculous sentences I've ever read in my life. But this is what Ian Rappaport said earlier today. And Mike Florio said if they do re-sign Sam Darnold, that J.J. McCarthy wants to be traded. Now, Bang, he said he's going to get traded to Nazareth.
He's going to be traded to his alma mater, Nazareth High School in LaGrange Park. That's where he's going to be. He's going to be the head coach of Nazareth by 2035.
I mean, I look at it like this. I definitely feel JJ if he wants to get traded. I don't know if them niggas will trade him because I think he's coming off 2 surgeries already.
You haven't even taken an NFL snap trying to demand trades. Nigga,
right,
exactly.
Exactly. I agree with that. But at the same time, they're like, I don't want to be behind Sam Darnold, nigga. Like, I think at the end of the season,
going on what is this year 7 of Sam Darnold in the NFL?
Yeah, around that 7 or 8.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, you sit behind just like Sam Darnold had to sit behind somebody for the first fucking 5-6 years of his career, okay? And now you sit behind because, brother, your fucking shit's still cooked anyway. You're still recovering from surgery. I really don't love the idea of putting someone who literally just, especially in that division this season. No, you're setting that young man up for failure. You got to let him sit behind Sam Darnold for what, another year or two, maybe, and then maybe we can talk.
So,
Sam Darnold is cooked, I'm just saying.
Courtney, I agree with you to a point. If I'm JJ McCarthy, I am looking at this draft and I'm saying to myself, I am better than every quarterback in this draft. Trade me to one of them niggas.
And Orlando said the same thing.
And not only that, bro, because if they give a contract to a player in year 8, bro.
I'm sick of it. I'm about to knock some shit over. I'm sick of the Cam Ward thing.
I feel like how Courtney feels about Cam Ward is how I feel about Shador. Enough.
This is crazy. I just never.
The thing with Shador is he needs an O-line, bro.
I feel like I'm on bro's PR team right now. Bro has been underestimated at every single point of his career. 0-star coming out of high school. Went to Incarnate Word. There were so many fucking different roads that this man had to take to get to the position that he's in. And the fact that people are still being insanely disrespectful toward him. Oh, well, I'm not really, like Louis Riddick said, and like Cam Ward said, doubt him now, because bro's going to be a menace. I'm telling you, bro's going to be a menace.
He also said Mitchell Trubisky was going to be a menace, too.
Yeah. They're going to sell.
No. Louis Riddick said that.
Maserati Mitch. Like, no.
Maserati Mitch.
Get the fuck out of here.
Even Ted Williams didn't bat 1,000, okay?
Nah. He did.
I was right about Bo Nix, and I'm right about Cam Ward.
He said, if I had $1 every time he came water on series, I know Matt. I've been in rooms with Matt. Mitch has something. I tell you what he has. Backup life. That's what we got. Go ahead, Dante.
Boy, I tell Louis Riddick, he set me off.
Yeah, I mean, I understand Sam Darnold. I mean, I'm not Sam Darnold. I understand McCarthy 100%. If you're gonna give a contract to a quarterback who's going into year 8, you plan on that quarterback playing. So that means my ass ain't gonna be playing. So it's definitely a situation where he doesn't really have much leeway to demand a trade. But I would at least tell them, yo, put me out there and see what you can possibly get, because there are a lot of teams out there who need a quarterback and would rather take a younger guy as opposed to trying to figure out what dope Aaron Rodgers is taking right now, and can he play quarterback for their team? So I think it's just a situation where, looking at the writing on the wall, if y'all do truly want to build around Sam Darnold, I'm not trying to sit here for 3 years and sit behind Sam fucking Darnold just to try this again 3 years from now. Just trade me now.
Well, speaking of Sam Darnold, I'm looking at 3 consecutive tweets here. Adam Schefter, from Jonathan Jones of NFL and CBS, and Dan Russini, who all saying that the Seahawks are gonna be in the Sam Darnold talks. So
Yeah.
you know, he's gonna be out there. He's gonna be out there throwing me.
Why is he rebuilding?
That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna get Darnold, pay money for him, why you trade DK?
Yeah,
I don't make no
what,
sense.
you guys gonna have JSN up there fucking 500 goddamn catch attempts?
Yeah,
what pick Seattle got?
What do you say?
What pick
What
Seattle
pick
got?
I don't know. I know they won 10
they can
games.
get that receiver. If they get
last season.
I think it's like 8th or some shit.
No, they're not.
They
They're
got
not
that-
higher than us.
You know they got that
went
receiver
10-7.
from Texas projected.
They went 10-7 last year, so they don't got that.
Yeah, what they got him projected?
Okay.
Well, either way it go, we about to be back to that old school Seattle Seahawks shit when they was terrible.
Which
Like
is a long time ago.
back in the 80s, the late 80s, when
That's
they
why
were constantly in the
I
top.
really don't understand the rebuild from Seattle, but okay.
But like I don't know. I'm looking right here with Seattle.
I mean, who said they
the
rebuilding? Maybe
Panthers
it's more of
got
a
8.
retool.
Brother,
Yeah, that's what I'm
rebuild.
saying.
Okay, that was the Panthers guy.
You release Tyler Lockett. You
Seattle picks 18.
start trading
Oh, damn.
DK Metcalf.
Depends on what I
Seattle
get back.
wants
I
to-
told you, but you got to remember how I feel about receivers. I told y'all receivers are the new running backs. I can go get me another receiver.
No, you're 100%
hear you,
right. Wide receivers.
I ain't worried about that shit.
Especially this draft class this season, there's some real nice wide receivers.
Especially if you could get a first for goddamn DK Metcalf.
A first for DK Metcalf is good.
Yeah, I
DK
don't
Metcalf
think
needs to
they're
go follow his one true destiny.
Insane.
Of being a crash out and go to the Steelers.
You can't even get a first for Normandy. That's
DK
terrible.
Metcalf and George Pickens. Who says no?
He said no. That's funny. You didn't know shorty name. Ain't it Normani or some shit like that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, Normandy or
I
whatever.
don't know
Normandy
whoever the
shit
name
was.
is. Yeah. I don't know. The one who no, I had some wild. I was gonna say this ain't something such. Anyway, last NFL topic, and Courtney could begin her weekend. Freaky Sean got his contract restructured. So they are basically giving him all his guaranteed money now. So only thing will be left up on his deal will be $46 million in 2026 season. Of course, because he's out for the entire 2025 season. He ruptured his Achilles, so he's not gonna play a snap this year. To me, this means that they're getting ready to move on from this nigga. I think that with them having a number 2 draft pick, there's been a lot of smoke with them potentially being able to get Cam Moore to pick 2. I don't think he plays another down with the Cleveland Browns. And I think this is something where if you look at $46 million compared to what these other quarterbacks getting paid, that's a bargain. That's something that I don't believe Cleveland will have any problems paying to get him to leave at the end of this upcoming season. So to me, this means that he's done, and I honestly think his NFL career is done. Outside of the fact of him being a freaky nigga, he can't play anymore. He keeps getting hurt. He's been hurt really his whole career. If you want to be real about it, he's been hurt since college. So I think he's cooked on that front. Dante, what you think about, and more with your opinion, what is this contract restructure, man?
Just Cleveland trying to free up some money to do other things and move on from Deshaun Watson. I think he will never play another down for the Cleveland Browns. If they could outright cut him, they would. But I mean, it's just more so now. We are forced to pay you. We don't want to pay you, but I mean, we're gonna give you this bread and still try to do the best we can for our football franchise. So I think he's done in the NFL, and he's definitely done as a Cleveland Brown.
This comes from Diana Rousseau. Geno Smith is expected to get a new deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. He's been looking to make between $40 to $45 million a year. Our brother Mikey says in the chat he thinks this means that the Vegas Raiders are going to take Genty with the pick. Wouldn't shock me if they're paying them. That makes a lot of sense. There. We're gonna move on. Courtney, we're gonna let you begin your weekend. Anything you got on tap that you can share with the people? What you gonna do this weekend?
Nah,
Don't get too drunk tonight.
I'm about to go have myself a beverage. It's been a very long week. So yeah, listen. Once I take this off, I got a little edge control thing under here. I'm about to go get hyped. Let's go have a good weekend, guys.
All right, Courtney, you have a great weekend.
You get ready for an XFL, buddy.
you have a good
tweet off. Ni hao.
Ni hao. Ni hao.
Ni hao. Ni hao.
Oh yeah, that's
she is Courtney. Right. You can follow her at 1-800-CLUB-ROAD. Courtney, we'll holler at you on Monday.
Cheers. I'll see you then.
All right, let's move to the association in the NBA, man. We've got some stuff to get over. We got to start with the Dallas Mavericks, and what a terrible year these niggas is having. Maybe the worst I've seen in an extremely long time. Kyrie Irving, who's the lone bright spot of this team with, you've had obviously the Luka trade, Anthony Davis. He was part of the trade and he's hurt. We're also hearing now that Rich Paul and people clutch are thinking that, Ant's going to sit the rest, AD's going to sit the rest of the year. And especially we're hearing that, that he's actually going to be able to play soon, but they're thinking about shutting him down for the rest of the year. To me, I look at it like this. I feel so bad for Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving was having a great season. Kyrie Irving, in my opinion, is one of the most fun players to watch in the NBA. And I really feel like Kyrie, especially with all the stuff he was going through in Brooklyn, a lot of the comments he made in Brooklyn, I feel like he's learned from. He's been a lot more, Kyrie used to be the quote-unquote head case when he left Cleveland. But I really feel like Kyrie has found a home. He's peaceful, and he's a friendly man now. And so, and outside of just that, he's one of the best players to watch. He's a real hard worker. And he's in his 30s now. It's watching somebody tear their ACL in their 30s. It's not as long as recovery as it was 10 years ago when Derrick Rose towards ACL, but he's still going to be out probably till Christmas, I believe. And as far as Anthony Davis, I don't blame him whatsoever for, saying he's going to sit the rest of the year. There's no point. They have the 10th seed right now. I think they're like 2.5 games in front of the Phoenix Suns. If I were them, I would just sit AD, get him fully rested, and try to do your best to build somewhat of a team to be deep enough to deal with the off and on injuries that Anthony Davis has, the team that can sustain themselves for at least the first 2.5 months of the season that Kyrie Irving is going to be out. But I really feel for Maverick fans. Dante, we haven't had you on here in a couple weeks. What you think about this whole thing going on in Dallas and how they can, what these injuries mean for them?
When the trade first happened, I was actually, kind of optimistic about what they could do this season. They still had a lot of talent. AD is still one of the best defenders in the NBA. You added him with Gafford, and also not only added him with Gafford, put him in a position where he can now play power forward. He didn't have to play the 5 no more. So I think him and Kyrie could have unlocked some things on that team. You still had Spencer Dinwiddie, you still had Klay Thompson. So they, for me, there was a move where I wanted to really see what Dallas could do. But now with these injuries, I think it would be smart to shut AD down for the rest of the season. One thing I could say is Kyrie I think they said the past 3 weeks have played the most minutes in the NBA or something like that. So Kyrie had really become your workhorse, and at 32. I just want to, obviously, if anybody can come back and be themselves as Kyrie, just off the spirit he has and the way, he's going to work hard to get back. But you hate to see him have this type of injury at that age. So it's going to be tough for Dallas. It's going to be tough. And now with him potentially missing all of next season, I haven't looked into AD's contract situation, but how does he feel about being in Dallas? We know there were talks about them potentially trying to go get KD. Does KD come there now that Kyrie is out for the season? It's a lot of different factors at play right now. So I think the injuries are unfortunate because I really wanted to see what this team could do because there was a lot of talent there.
If there's one thing I'm sure about this injury, and we were talking about Kyrie having that player option, he's 100% picking up that $315 million extension. That's probably going to be on the table. What you think about all the stuff that the Mavs have gone through, man? I know we're Chicago sports fans. We've gone through enough. I'm not going to lie. If one of my teams had a year like this, I play in traffic.
Yeah. This is the worst year ever for the Dallas Mavericks. So worse that you really got people saying that the Dallas Mavericks is going to be the Las Vegas Mavericks in a couple of years. If you look at all of the conspiracy theories that's going on along with the Dallas Mavericks team and their new ownership. Look, man, you can't tell me Nico Harrison made this trade himself. Sorry. I refuse to believe that man was like, we got to move on from Luka. And to see what has happened since they let go of Luka, and the fact that Luka has been out since Christmas, because that messed up one of my parlays. See, that the think that he's been out since Christmas, before he comes back, he gets traded. Now he's shining with the Lakers, and everybody's getting hurt in Dallas. I don't know if this is God trying to tell us something. I don't know if it's the sports gods saying that, yo, we about to go back to terrible teams being terrible teams. Because remember, the Dallas Mavericks was also one of them teams that was always terrible, just like the Seahawks were. But man, it is bad luck after bad luck move. There's another player that I saw that's injured, having wrist surgery. So AD just need to stay his ass at the crib and just chill out, play video games, do that show that he got on Max and stuff, and just chill out and wait for next year. Kyrie come back when the league starts in Christmas, because I always say that the that the NBA season starts in Christmas in the first place, and maybe we could see what him and AD could do. But man, oh man, if it was when you talk about snake bitten, this is it.
Yeah, and I think you said an interesting thing that a lot of people have been saying lately, that this trade isn't just really about Nico Harrison. It's about the ownership, the new owners, who I know a lot of people find out that, hey, Mark Cuban's not the owner anymore. In fact, Mark Cuban said on, I don't know what podcast he's on, he said trading Luka is one thing. He said, but not getting, he said, no disrespect to Anthony Davis, but not getting the best deal is the biggest issue. He's like, look, if you getting four first round picks, Anthony Davis and Max Christie, then yeah, that's a different thing. He said the deal was just bad, and they asked him would he have ever traded Luka if he was the owner. He said, out of respect for the ownership, I'm not going to answer that question. We all know that you'd have Mark Cuban over the truck before he played Luka Doncic. And every time I see Luka Doncic play with the Lakers last night, and this is a perfect segue into the Lakers, I wonder, like, I was watching that game last night and watching Luka go crazy, and I was like, they need to send Nico Harrison that ownership to the same raft that they sent Zemo to in Falcon Winter Soldier. It's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous, bro. I can't believe it. And speaking of Anthony Davis, let's go on to Jeanie Buss. Jeanie Buss, the owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, she did a podcast. She's been on some podcast runs lately. I don't know. I think she's involved with that basketball show on Netflix, but she's been on a PR run. She was on Rich Eisen's show. She was on some comedians podcast, and she was on A. Martinez of NPR's Morning Edition, when she said this. Anthony Davis was complaining about where he was being played, and he wasn't happy in Los Angeles. That's the thing. I really don't care too much about those comments, but it's not like she said anything, outlandish or out of body. But when Anthony Davis came out there, he just do the same thing LeBron do every time. But I think also we see here that Anthony Davis has proved that he is not LeBron. And LeBron can go out there and say things about the team and go at it. And let's be very clear about something. It don't matter what Anthony Davis said. Anthony Davis could have been like, I love LA. I love the Lakers. I don't really care if we add anything or not. This is Luka Doncic. If the Mavericks call me and say, yo, Luka Doncic will be a Bull, you just have to give up your future 3 children. Where do I sign? We're like, what are we talking about? It doesn't even really matter. But I do think it's funny that when all the crap happens with the Los Angeles Lakers, Jeanie Buss and Rob Pelinka are nowhere to be found. But in this, you running off at the mouth. And I just feel like it's kind of disrespectful to Anthony Davis because this whole time that since the trade, post-trade, and everybody's reacting like Anthony Davis is some bum. I really think if Anthony Davis was out there hooping, we'd have a different opinion. Not that much different about the trade since Luka Dante, but if the Mavericks were healthy and gelling and playing good football, playing good basketball, I don't think this would be as a severe conversation as we having. Dante, what you think about Jeanie Buss's comments about AD?
I didn't have a problem with him. I think, it is kind of a victory lap type of vibe, but I mean, at the same time, this is the Lakers. Kind of picking up where our father left off. They've always made a big splash. They've always made a splash for someone who has been a top 3, top 5 player in the league. This really positions the Lakers to not necessarily run the league, but when you talk about a brand that's already top 3 in everything NBA related, and then you bring a global phenomenon like Luka over there, she kind of got a right to talk her shit. Like, especially when you think about it, everybody has been hard on Jeanie, and during those rough years, they were going extra hard at Jeanie. Like, you really about to fumble what your father built. Like, we always knew her brothers were idiots, but everybody else was like, well, Jeanie, you were right next to your pops. How are you letting this slide? And then, you had the situations with Phil Jackson, and people thought, well, is that a conflict of interest? And now bringing Bron in, getting a ring with Bron. The Lakers, like you said, the Lakers are a 2 seed or a 3 seed right now.
2 seed.
Yeah,
you're the 2 seed. You bring in Luka, which positions you for the next decade, when a lot of people were wondering what you were going to do when LeBron finally gets ready to retire. So, Jeanie got every right, and nothing she said was a lie. AD kept saying he didn't want to play center. Nigga, okay, go play power forward in Dallas, nigga. What are we doing?
Bang, what you think about Miss Jeanie Buss?
It's the Lakers. It's the Buss family. It's par for the course. I ain't really mad at it. Hell, shouts out to my homie BC. He said that when he was in Philly, he's in Philly. He said that he had talked to Anthony Davis after a game in Philly, and Anthony Davis knew he was getting traded. Like, he knew he was getting traded. I don't think he thought this was gonna happen though.
Right, yeah.
Like, I don't think because look, man, here's the biggest thing about this that I've not heard nobody say is that, and this is why you can't tell me that LeBron James didn't know. When LeBron got AD, all of this, I'm gonna be Kareem and he gonna be Magic shit, that one was supposed to happen. This was supposed to be AD team now. This is Luka's team. This LeBron, this is not LeBron's team no more. This is Luka's team. Luka, he's the ball dominant person. LeBron James is playing off of the ball now. This is Luka's team. That was what LeBron was thinking what was going to happen. This was supposed to be AD's team. You don't trade AD if AD owns this team. So that's what made all of this easy. Then he's complaining about not playing the 4. All right, we going to figure this out. I just don't think they thought that Luka Doncic was going to fall in their lap. So with that being said, hell no, if I'm Jeanie Buss, I'm not tripping about what Jeanie Buss said. In fact, she's 100% right, because it's more than just he wanted to play another position. He never owned the Lakers. He never took it from LeBron. LeBron James has been the best player on the Lakers the whole time he's been on the Lakers. And LeBron James have not even wanted to be that. He's been wanting to play second fiddle. And that's why we could see LeBron James playing for at least 3 more seasons, because he's playing at a high level now. Excuse me. He's playing at so much of a high level that I'm no longer willing to argue with anybody that Mike is better than him. Whatever y'all say is cool. Why? Because Luka could give this man 3 more years, and make damn near every goddamn record he owned untouchable.
I still think
real quick, G. Banks, to your point, just like you said, Bron and AD was supposed to be Magic and Cap. Luka and Bron could turn out to be Magic and Cap, where he extends this man's career, because a lot of people, and bang, I'm not even trying to be on no cracking old joke shit. You remember when they thought Cap was done.
Yeah.
And that extended that man's career. So when you bring Luka and you now allow Bron to, hey, bro, just go over there in the corner. I'm gonna find you. Like, they have, obviously, LeBron, in my opinion, has, you know, the best basketball IQ we've seen outside of maybe Chris Paul. And I'm talking about in just terms of players we've seen right now. Luka's right up there with them. So, like, when you watch them play, the shit looks easy at times. Like, depending on who they playing, obviously they still gonna have their growing pains. But this can definitely extend LeBron's career, and to the point where he's already at a triple-double for his career in every stat. 50,000 points, I think it's 14,000 rebounds, 13,000 assists, something insane. This shit can get really, really sick, bro. Like,
fuck you, Orlando.
like real shit.
Said Banks saw Norm Nixon play.
I'm about to fight.
I feel like this. I don't think either one of y'all wrong. I don't see him playing 3 more years. I think I saw something interesting that D-Wade, Melo, and Richard Jefferson said. It was like they could see him playing like a year, maybe 2. But a lot of them said outside of playing that Bron just don't want to do this shit.
No, I'm not saying that he will. I'm saying that he extends the high level play.
Oh, I agree. I think that
I think if the Lakers win this year, LeBron James is done.
I think
if they win this year, go ahead.
Bron got 5, right?
Yeah, no, he got 4. He has 4. If he wins this year, he's 100%. Then he has a chance to top Mike. He's 100.
He's coming back at 6.
They're crazy. Nah. I don't think. I think LeBron James is gonna be like, all right, man, I wasn't supposed to get this one.
But see, look, this thing, and also another reason I don't think he'll retire. You think LeBron, Raymond James is not gonna have a farewell tour with uninterrupted, doing a documentary? There's no way.
I think him winning a ring this year is way bigger and better than a farewell tour. Because if you went the greatest, let's put this in the bow. Michael Jordan, I'm not saying this is going to happen. This is just a theory. Michael Jordan is the only, in my opinion, the only GOAT level person to retire with the ring.
We're not counting Ray Lewis?
I said GOAT level. Great. Ray Lewis is not greatest of all time in football. He's greatest linebacker in the debate.
Mike did retire with the Wizards. So you just
no. But we know why he came back. I'm talking. He retired after he won his ring. After 6 he retired, and the way that he retired, shot, boom. There's no other way to retire. You don't need a farewell tour. You don't need that at that point. If LeBron James starting the way this season started, with the year that he gets with his son, and his son would also get a ring too, I think LeBron James would be like, there's no other reason. Lakers, y'all can have this shit. Y'all can have it.
I think that's a really good point with knowing who LeBron is. That's nothing to do with what's a great entrance. This nigga likes the attention. And I'll say this. I just want to say this as we move on to how the Lakers played last night. I'm buying a lot of Lakers stock right now. I'm very conflicted with the Lakers because y'all know how I feel about LeBron. But Luka is my man. So it's like I feel like that meme, I've won, but at what cost? That's how I feel with Luka hooping with the Lakers. But I'll say this about the GOAT today. And I was here last year. I've been here for the last couple of years. I think the GOAT debate now is about a matter of preference. I have my reasons why I think Michael Jordan is better. A lot of them have to do with he accomplished so much in a shorter period of time. I just like dominance in the NBA Finals. I think he dominated his era, and LeBron James shared his era with Steph Curry. That's me. But if you come to me saying that LeBron James is better, I'm not arguing with you.
I'm not arguing.
You have a legit, actual argument for why you think he's the greatest of all time. I'm going to give LeBron this. He is going to have the best statistical career, front to back, that we have ever seen in the NBA, and I think we ever will see in the NBA. These scoring records, he's finna obliterate them. 50,000 points, even though if you combine them, it's an ESPN stat, but it's neither here nor there. That is not going to be touched.
Nigga, I saw ESPN put a wins graphic up.
Yeah, nasty business, but this is it's like the Kendrick Lamar had more eyes than Michael Jackson thing. Like, come on now. We this is social media. He had more things, more ways to look at the stuff than Michael Jackson did. But LeBron is by far the best 35 and up player. I mean, I've never seen a player in sports outside of Tom Brady who won 2 Super Bowls and an MVP in his 40s play this way. So he's got it on that front. For Luka Doncic, you see how them boys played last night as we get into this last night's actual game, which I thought was a phenomenal game. What makes me confident about the Lakers is the way they lock up. They defend, and this is not just a lately thing because Luka's not the best defender, but even he looks good defensively last night, getting steals, getting the niggas face.
That nigga played like for fuck look good. He played defense.
Yeah, he played defense last night.
Defense. He actually played defense.
Yeah, Vando looked like he looked in Minnesota, locked down. If Gabe Vincent is looking like he looked in Miami, God bless. God bless, bro. Like it's ridiculous. And LeBron loves this, like you just said, Dante, because he has been wanting to be number 2 for the longest time. Luka he was doing Magic Johnson pass last night. If you look at the playoffs, I know I said last week that we putting too much dip on our chip. Look, man, I still believe that, Denver, it will be a long, drawn-out series with Denver, probably 7 games, just because Jokic is like early LeBron, where it don't matter who's around him, what he does defies logic. He canceled out everything. So, and the fact that they just can't beat them. Oklahoma City, I think, is a better team than the Lakers. But if you're LeBron James, if you're Luka Doncic, you got a man who's got 4 NBA championships and one who's coming off an NBA Finals appearance. You think I'm scared of them niggas? No. Especially Luka just beat them last year. Luka beat the Thunder last year. I wouldn't be scared of them boys at all. So I think it comes down to matchups. Now, this is a rough month for the Lakers. They've got a tough schedule. Tomorrow's game is going to be, as Stephen A. Smith says, box office. And speaking of cheap plug, me and Dante are going live on IG Spaces. Not IG, but Twitter Spaces tomorrow after Lakers and Celtics. We're going to be doing the first of many. I'm not going to hold you Spaces. We're going to have a post-game chat about this game. You got Porzingis is going to be playing tomorrow. I'm hearing Drew Holiday is going to be playing tomorrow. You're going to get both teams at full strength. And that's what the NBA wants. Remember how Major League Baseball was foaming at the mouth for Yankees Dodgers last year? They are foaming at the mouth for Lakers Celtics. And I believe the Lakers have a legitimate shot. I don't know about winning the NBA Finals, because I still think healthy, nobody's beating Boston in 7 games. But they got a shot to get out the West. That's how I feel about that. As far as the Knicks on the other side, I don't know what the Knicks need, but them niggas need something. Jalen Brunson had 39 points, injured his ankle. They say MRIs were negative. It is a sprain. They just don't know what grade sprain it is. Hopefully it's not too long because they're on a tough road trip. And Milwaukee done won 4 in a row. Milwaukee only like 3 games behind. And if Jalen Brunson misses a game or it's the rest of the regular season, they can catch him, man. Before we go to Jimmy Butler, I really want to talk about Jimmy Butler. Dante, what's your thoughts on the Lakers and their ceilings? We haven't got your opinion on this team at all.
Oh, no, I love it. We got to give a big shout out to JJ Redick. I mean, he caught some flack at the beginning of the season with the slow start.
JJ playing well.
JJ has been everything that he said he was going to be on that podcast. So, I mean, the fact that he soft launched his head coach and they have been doing a lot of the things that they talked about on that podcast. And one thing I really want to give him credit for is the Lakers have been the number 1 defensive team in the league since Anthony Davis got traded. Like, he's completely changed the scheme on defense, and there you see them crashing the paint. You see them running people off the 3 line. So, like, this is really going to be a good test for them on Saturday because, you know, one thing we know Boston does, they shoot the most threes in the league. I think they hit the most threes too, but I mean, talk about a team that is going to be tough to deter them from shooting those threes. So it's going to be interesting to see those two styles clash. But I think with the Lakers, I'm with you, they really have an opportunity to go far in the West. And when you have two basketball minds like Luka and LeBron, the way they've really been able to put this together, Jackson Hayes should probably be in jail, but I mean, he's played well, given his opportunity. So
literally, he should be in jail.
Yeah. So, you know, seeing what LeBron and Luka have always done in making their teammates better. Now it's just dope to see them do it at the same level, on the same team. And again, even seeing Bron embrace playing off ball more, which is something that he's done in spurts. But I think with Luka, this now gives him an opportunity to do that, which will help him energy wise come playoff time. Because now you don't have to exert as much energy because you can now we know he takes plays off on defense, but now there are going to be some plays on offense where Bron could just sit back and chill and let Luka do his thing. So I mean, I really like what I see from the Lakers, and I think it's gonna be a fun playoff for them.
Bang, I know we said last week that you think that, you know, they still don't have the size. Pause. Has anything changed your opinion about where they can go playoff wise?
All that has changed. All that shit has changed. Still, my only concern is do they have the stamina to keep this up? Because now if you look at that game last night and then went into overtime, they playing hard defense. Yeah. Like they playing that, oh no, we about to blow niggas out at Export Fitness defense. They playing that defense. Can they keep that up in the 7-game series in the playoffs? That is the only thing that I could think of. But now, seeing what I'm seeing with Luka Doncic, this being his team, and LeBron James doing what he's doing, and the role players, I don't want to say I expect them to go to the finals because I don't want to disrespect Oklahoma City, and they got size. Pause. Like their front court, this whole part is pause. Their front court is big and long. So this is big, tall, and long. That's crazy. But they might feel slighted by people saying, "Oh, word for real." But if Luka put the Dallas Mavericks on his back and took them to an Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, what the fuck you expect him to do with LeBron James?
Yeah, man.
What do you expect? There's nothing else to expect. And they both motivated. Now it's a doubly motivated GOAT type situation. That's part of the reason why I'm like, if I'm LeBron, if I win, nigga, this is the second ring that I won that y'all niggas didn't think I was gonna win. I came back from 3-1 and won the ring. We was the goddamn 9th seed. We get Luka and we win the title. There's no reason to be like, I'm gonna try to double it up. Like, nigga, I won 2 rings. Y'all ain't think I was gonna win? Legitly. Like legit.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. This caught me off guard. This was funny as fuck.
Dominican Sam Perkins embarrassed himself.
Just throwing shit up last night.
Soon overtime hit and Jalen Brunson got hurt. I was like, oh, this nigga cat.
This nigga about to tweet.
Cat. Yeah. I mean, look, and you're right about that too, Bang, where, you know, I said that LeBron should get his jersey retired as a Laker, but he shouldn't get a statue. They win his he getting a statue, nigga.
He getting that thing.
It's a statue ring if he's able to get this one.
Hey, if he get this shit, they gonna tell people again, you can't wear 23 or 6. Like if he wins this shit, they gonna be like, yo, you can't wear 32. We already can't. I mean, 23. Well, Mike, y'all ain't do it for Mike. Well, both of y'all, you can't wear 23 no more, and you can't wear 6 either. Like I am not a LeBron. I'm not these LeBron stans. I'm not. But when you think about that, this man was down 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors that went
73-9 team.
73-9 and won the title. If he does this shit again, I don't give a damn if Luka there or not. They traded him and they brought him in. If LeBron James wins a ring this year, first of all, I will say fuck it. He is the greatest of all time. Y'all got it. And two, if I'm LeBron James, I'm peacing out. Fuck everybody. Matter of fact, son, I got you a ring too. You want to retire? You want to keep this shit going? Or you want to be the best nigga in G League history? Nah, Dad. I want to play video games with Casanat. Bet. We good. It's just over. Like, it's just over. I'm the GOAT. My son better than y'all sons. We out.
No, the coldest shit would be, what if they recording this shit now? Like, what if quietly, because, you know, they had the moments, they've already been manufacturing. What if they already got the video cameras, and then he gets this ring, and it's like, all right, peace, y'all, and drops a document.
The words LeBron James is the GOAT will never come out of my mouth, pause. But at that point, I'm not, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Look, I do not like this nigga. I have not liked him for 22 years. But at the end of the day, dog, you can't deny this nigga put up what 31 and 12 last night on the slide.
Easy.
The man has averaged 27, 7, and 7 since he walked into the goddamn NBA.
And look at this.
20 years ago.
Wait a minute, and he did that last night under duress. He was pissed.
Geez, listen to me, bro. Look, bro.
He had motivation.
I'm saying this, bro. Look, bro. If I'm saying this and I can't stand this nigga, it just is what it is, bro. You gotta chalk some stuff up. It is what it is. They can fight. And look, their road to win the finals ain't gonna be easy. You're gonna have to beat maybe the Warriors in the first round. You're gonna have to beat maybe the Denver Nuggets in the second round. You're gonna have to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then you're probably going to face the biggest rival in franchise history, the Boston Celtics.
You ain't gotta play no more after that, Scott. I'm telling you. If that man do that shit, look, let's start that over again. You play Steph Curry in the first round. You win that. You go against the team that put you out of the damn playoffs the last 2 years, your nemesis, the Denver Nuggets, with the coach who you hate because he been talking shit about you. And then you beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, who got the number 1 seed. Then you go beat Boston? Nigga, I'm LeBron. Hey.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm gonna walk.
Nothing else to be done.
I'm gonna go. And they the only LA teams since he been there that ain't got a parade. The Rams done had a parade. The Dodgers done had a parade. The Dodgers celebrated both titles at their parade this past. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm going home.
I'm going home.
I'm going home. I'm with you at that point, man.
I'm gonna focus on getting this Las Vegas franchise. That's it. Yeah. I'm done. If I do come back, it's with them.
This is what leads me to my next point. We've been over here talking about who's going to be the next face of the NBA. Face of the NBA. After these last 2 weeks, I'm convinced, bro. It's going to be Luka Doncic. Look, I know we talked about this briefly on summer sessions. Pat was like, well, Luka don't talk enough English. The biggest thing that Americans can't accept, specifically African Americans, is that this is not really our game anymore. That has been the hardest thing for us to accept. It is their game, okay? Luka Doncic has always been a star, but look at what he's done since just in a month he's been a Laker. This nigga got posters on the 405. As somebody who has covered the Los Angeles Clippers for 3 seasons and has gone to Staples Center repeatedly, I can tell you that is one of the most hardest places to find a park if you are not a media member. This nigga Luka bought the parking lot and offered free parking for a week. Niggas pulled up in the Laker what's called Ferrari. He's going to be the face. It's the Los Angeles Lakers. He is going to be the guy. We got prime Lakers celebrities coming to games now, bro. Did you see all the niggas that was at the game last night? Like, and Luka don't speak the best English, but he can speak it. He with Jordan Brand, Mike and whoever runs Jordan. I think it's actually Jordan's daughter. They have this nigga in mad commercials. That's who I believe is going to be the next face. And it ain't. And he might not want it. Like Anthony Edwards said, he don't want it. It's going to be annoying to him, and especially if they win a championship. That's what I think. Dante, what you think? Like, you haven't really been here doing our fantasy league conversation.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely Luka. It was always, we talked, Giannis, Luka. There were always a few names we threw around. Ja until he started pointing the guns at everybody. So the more it's funny as hell. I forgot who said it, bro, but somebody was like, when we keep pushing for an American to be the face of the league. Ja turned into John Wick, and Zion is a porn addict. Like it's a situation where our stars have not done what they needed to do. So it's really like it's Luka's game, bro. It really is. He has everything you would want in a young superstar. The fact that this man has been a professional since he was 14 or 15.
Yeah, 14.
The way he carries himself, I understand people don't like the way he complains on the court, but outside of harassing the refs, bro, he don't do nothing off the field. He gets a little fat, but nobody cares because he actually performs. It's amazing to me that, he is as out of shape as Zion is at times, but for some reason, Zion is never on the goddamn court. Obviously, the explosiveness of his game plays into that, but still, point being, Luka is available, and when he's available, he's elite, and he's consistently elite. So I think this is a person that's perfect for the Laker brand. We're talking about a brand that's, like I said, top 3 in everything NBA related, and now you got an international face that plays exactly into what Adam Silver wants to do, and that's grow the game globally. So this lines up well, and I can see why the conspiracy theorists are like, oh no, the league pushed for this trade.
Bang, what do you think? Do you still think it's he can't do it because of Euro?
Luka will be the face of the NBA, but it ain't gonna matter when the NBA players lose. The black ones, the black ones are Cooper Flag.
You keep going back to the Olympics.
Look, I'm telling y'all, fam, the NBA gonna be cooked in 2028 when we don't medal. Like, I don't think we're going to medal.
Yeah, you're wild. No, you're wild now. You're wild.
I don't think. Look,
no. I'm with KD when he said it's 5 good niggas, and y'all be acting like we done lost the game. Like in terms of like the way the league is pushing it, yes, they're gonna push the global stars over
Dante.
Our guys are niggas.
Dante.
But no.
Dante.
Who we gonna lose to, Bang? Fran?
Dante. All the goddamn best players. We talking about we talking about 2028 here. We talking about 2024.
We putting the country in Tyrese Halliburton's hands.
We put
we're gonna finally have to respect Jason Tatum, man. He gonna bring us home. He said Tyrese Halliburton. God damn.
And he was on the team this year.
Future Olympian LaMelo Ball. Like,
asking Katie which color Gatorade he want. That was
the fate of USA basketball is on Tyrese Halliburton in 2028, fam. No, we not meddling, fam. All of the best players in the NBA right now. All of the best players in the NBA right now are either not in their prime yet or barely in their prime, and they all international players. And we sitting up here talking about Tyrese Halliburton and Ja Morant, who are no slouches. We talking about international competition.
And if you want to be real about Ja Morant got kidnapped. I don't know who this nigga is on the court. It ain't Ja Morant.
So he got to get back to doing this. He got to get back to doing this, guy.
He ain't the same without. Remember how we was talking about Freaky Sean ain't the same without massage?
Yeah,
Ja ain't been Ja without the gunplay.
Ja got to get back to doing this shit. I'm telling you, Luka can be the face of the NBA all he want. He can be the face of basketball, but when 2028 comes, you gonna be conflicted. Do I want the face of the NBA to get a medal? Or do I want my country to get a medal? And we gonna want our country. So when gold, silver, and bronze is France, Canada, and Slovakia, oh nigga, heads gotta roll, fam. Heads gotta roll. I'm telling you, the NBA is like every empire that has happened in world history. At some point, it's gotta crumble. The best thing about the NFL is we ain't got football in the Olympics. Because once Germans find out what the fuck to do and they big as hell, maybe in 20 years they got something. But I'm telling you, my son is going to grow up in the world where the USA might not medal for 2 goddamn Olympics. Because we got to rely on Tyrese Halliburton and John Morant and Cooper Flag. Like, somebody tell me who's the roster, the projected roster in 2028.
You better hope Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That's all I got, bro.
He barely got ticked.
No, he will this time.
We got to rely on light-skinned niggas to bring us the gold medal. It's not gonna work in LA.
I'm with you. Final topic before we wrap up today's episode, man. We got to talk about the Golden State Warriors, man, because we talk about how good LeBron has played since Luka's been there. Steph Curry is back to being Steph Curry since Jimmy Butler's got there, man. Steph Curry is back to shooting half-court shots. I swear, Steph ain't hit a half-court shot in about 3 years. He back doing that. He scored 56 points on Monday. He had 40 last night. Jimmy Butler had 25. This team is 10-1 since Jimmy Butler has been in the lineup, man. They have moved up from a play-in team to the 6th seed, and they're not far behind the 5th seed in the NBA right now. And the 5th seed currently, I'm looking at it right now, is the Houston Rockets. They're about 3 games behind. They're not far. They're in shooting distance right now. And I think the thing that's going to mess up Golden State playoff-wise will probably be the matchups. Like, if the playoffs start today, they play Denver in the first round. Not to say that they're scared of them, but I'm going to keep going back to the Jokic thing. I don't care how bad Denver shoots. That's Nikola Jokic, nigga. Like, he defies logic. But this is a team where if we wake up one day and they in the West Conference Finals, it wouldn't 100% shock me. And that just really shows we keep talking about number 1 options, number 2 options. When the last time Jimmy Butler been a number 2 option? It's been a while, probably since he was in Philadelphia. And that's why Philadelphia worked so well when it was with Jimmy. And if it wasn't for a miraculous Kawhi Leonard shot at the buzzer, who knows where that season ends for that team. And just even long term, this gives Steph Curry so much more life. And I just love how they're playing. Draymond been talking crazy. I don't even want to get into what he said about the cat thing, which I think was terrible. Like, first of all, spreading that rumor and then finding out that somebody died and then doubling down on it was nasty. But at this point, I expect nothing less from Draymond Green. But the Jimmy effect is real. I think that this is giving the Warriors new life, and this is not a team. I'm gonna keep going back to matchups. The Western Conference is all about matchups. And maybe Oklahoma City is listening to all this stuff that me, you, and Dante saying, bang, and that all the national media saying it, and they're watching this like, all right, bet, we finna show y'all. And I'm rooting for them. I love that shit. And I hope that's the case. But it looks like LeBron and Stephen Curry are looking at the block looking like, I can take these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like the last old head, like, I'm gonna put these little niggas in the headlock one last time before I get up out of here. Dante, we know Jimmy is not your boy, but what do you think about what he's been bringing to the Warriors, and what do you think that they can do, if anything, this year?
Man, what? There you go.
Yeah,
my computer's fucking up. But going 10-1 since Jimmy got there, bro. You gotta tip your cap to him. He's added a spark to that team. I still do wonder how long him and Draymond are gonna have this honeymoon period before, they eventually bump heads, because they are gonna bump heads. I mean, one thing we can say about Jimmy, love him or hate him, he wears out his welcome everywhere he goes. It's just a matter of when, not if. So I think with that being said, they still can have some success in this early period. Steph back sitting out 4th quarters. You've seen him really just seem more rejuvenated and enjoying himself again. But with that being said, I still don't think they have enough to actually make a deep run into the playoffs. One, Draymond is gonna do some dumb shit at some point in time. You just know that's gonna happen. That's just write that down right now. Yeah. So shout out to Jimmy. You gotta take the cap to him, because they are playing well and he's put a lot of life into that team. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's gonna be enough for them to actually get out the West.
Bang, last thought on this, man. With 10-1 Steph Curry's got new life. What you think about these Warriors?
The same thing that I just said about LeBron James is the same thing I'm gonna say about Steph Curry. Nigga, if now mind you, when you did your tiers, I put the Golden State Warriors in tier 1. Because I'm like, playoff Jimmy without niggas. Now you got playoff Jimmy with Steph. That's gonna be tough. With that being said, fam, if Steph Curry get the 5 in LeBron James' era, that changes a lot. That changes a whole, especially with another player. 1, that changes a lot. 2, check on Klay Thompson. Because you might need to do a wellness check on him if that happens. Because his daddy already talking about he over there in purgatory. So there's that piece right there. But Steph with 5, beating LeBron James, going through that gauntlet of the West, and beating Boston again.
Yeah.
Hey, if I'm Steph, I'm about to go make some more babies, fam. I'ma holler at y'all's underarm out. Dead ass. Like the conversation changes. Forget had. It changes if Steph gets the 5. Because then he would be over LeBron. So
and he beat LeBron like 3 times.
He beat LeBron. He would be over LeBron. And then he would have did it with a different supporting cast. Conversation. And for people that say LeBron is the greatest of all time, hey, this is different than Kobe Tim Duncan. This is a different type of Kobe Tim Duncan situation. Because LeBron James is supposed to be the GOAT, but you sharing time. And now he got more. So same thing. If I'm Steph, if I win this ring, it's shit else I can do. Shit else I can do. I'm out.
I think I think this playoffs in the West is going to be a battle of the young niggas and the OGs. Like, are the young niggas finally going to be like, enough? This is our era. Is shit gonna be like, look, y'all can say what y'all want about me. I dress like the Pied Piper R&B, but guess what? This is my conference now. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send you little niggas home, or it's gonna be Bron and Steph or whoever. Maybe Jokic still like, yo, man, what y'all doing is cute, but I'm still here. And like I said, I'm still not counting Denver out. Look, I know them niggas can't shoot for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about Jokic, I'm gonna keep telling. To me, Jokic the best player in the NBA and by a large margin. Like a large margin. Like, he's that good. And I know the Lakers had a good defensive scheme for him in that one game. But in the 7-game series, and Jamal Murray turned into a nigga we ain't never seen before come playoff time. He's not even possible being in the regular season. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna go, man. But that is all we have got for y'all on this edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. We appreciate y'all for dealing with all the technical difficulties we had, especially me for the first 20 minutes where I couldn't get my audio right. But we appreciate everybody for watching on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for the support. Me and Dante will be having I'm Not Gonna Hold You Twitter Spaces tomorrow, 15 minutes after the result of Lakers Celtics on ABC tomorrow. The Lakers are going to be able to win their 9th in a row over the defending champions and a hated rival. The Celtics are expected to be at full strength, so I think that's going to be a very, very interesting game, man. Anything before we get up out of here? Anything y'all want to say?
No, I'm chilling.
Hey, man, LeBron James get that ring. Hey.
Look, I will be rooting very hard against, even though Luka is my boy. But we gonna see how that's gonna go. Y'all can follow me at Barber Chair Scott on all social media platforms. Man, you can follow the Barber's Chair and at Barber's Chair Co. on all social media platforms as well. Follow our partners HMB Media and at HMB Media TV on Twitter and at HMB Media on Instagram, and of course follow the new Instagram page for our Instagram page, which is the show I'm Not Gonna Hold You. So at INGHY show on Instagram. Follow that, man. And of course, subscribe to our Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Barbers Chair Network, man. You can go over there. You can get you can subscribe to all the different tiers we've got. We've got the summer sessions tier. We got a new episode up there. We got the 79th Analyst tier. Me and my brother will be recording next week to recap free agency and see which way the Bears take this. We'll also be talking about this on Monday as well. We'll have a big free agency show on Monday. And if you subscribe to the $10 holla, that is the Barber's Chair All Access tier, you will get 25% off your first order for the Barber's Chair Network merchandise Barber's Chair merchandise shop. It's bcnetshop.com. We got a dope shirt dropping next Friday. Bears fans, look out for that one, man. So y'all enjoy y'all weekend. We will holler at y'all on Friday. We'll recap what's expected to be a busy first day in NFL free agency. And yeah, man, we will holler at y'all, man. We up out of here.